take on the Iona Gaels. And Joe, this is an age-old rivalry. These two teams haven't met since December 2006. How excited are you to get this one underway?
Look, I'm thrilled, Tuck. First road game of the year, storylines everywhere. We'll unpack that later. This is a prove-it game for Fordham. They've recovered pretty well after an opening night shocker to NJIT. This is the best team they've played so far. Can you go into a building where they have been historically dominant against you and find a way to win? That's what's at stake tonight.
Yeah, Coach Mike Magpio trying to find a way for his team to win in his first road game as the head coach of the Rams. Joe and I had a chance to catch up with him pregame. Take a listen right now. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry here pregame ahead of Fordham men's basketball versus the Iona Gaels. We're here with Fordham men's basketball head coach Mike Magpio. And Coach, you didn't have to travel very far for this one, but how does it feel heading into your first road game as the head coach of these Fordham Rams?
You know, it's great. It's different. It reminds me a little bit of our crosstown rivalry where I came from. It was UC Riverside and Cal Baptist. It's not far, but it took a while. You know, it's nearly an hour to go, however many miles it is. So it's you know, New York City. I think that's great. You know, you kind of absorb the environment as you're coming over here of New York and all that, and was trying to make sure the guys understood. I think they do, because we had Day on the team, but that this is a rivalry that matters, and it's been tight all the way through in the history of the rivalry, and we'll see tonight.
It's funny, you made it really easy on us to do prep for this game from a storylines perspective.
Yeah.
There's plenty to choose from, but of course, you and head coach Dan Garreau going back at it, your relationship, what does it mean to be able to renew this rivalry with him?
Man, and not a rivalry, but we talked a lot of hoops over a lot of beers in our tiny little apartment in Fuquay, Verena, North Carolina. And, you know, I really do think that year changed my view of basketball. Just spending time with a guy who was just so open-minded, and he's making it look easy right now. I've been really impressed. He's doing such a great job. They're killing it, you know, and some of the stuff that we've talked about over the years is showing up in every game. And, you know, we've been texting, joking around with each other. I told him I was in the office till midnight watching Iona Hofstra for the 9th time the other night. We're in a group text with Hovde, the Columbia head coach. So it'll be funny. I've been thinking about it the whole time. It'll be hilarious that we'll be coaching against each other. But it's time to battle, and we got to find a way to get one on the road.
Really excited to see you guys go at it. It's going to be fun. But you've talked so much about communication in the early part of this season through the first few games. How much more important is that solid communication when you're coming into a hostile environment tonight?
Oh, it's going to be huge tonight. You know, we've practiced it. We practiced with crowd noise. I was really pleased to see a lot of it show up in the Wagner game. You know, that ended up being a gritty. We're still not shooting the ball well like we're going to, I believe. But just the defensive effort, the communication, the ability to communicate. They did a lot of the same things that NJIT did offensively, and we didn't give up any of those types of threes, that those miscommunication threes. It was more just offensive rebound daggers is what I felt like in that Wagner game. But it's going to be huge tonight. It'll be, you know, we tried to show the guys. We showed a picture of it. We showed the Hofstra start to them so they understood, and we're going to have to keep our poise and really control tempo.
It's no surprise a guy who's been coaching in the NBA for the past decade runs a very NBA-style offense for his team. This team's among tops in the nation in pace, three-point efficiency. Everyone on the team can handle the ball. Everyone on the team can pass. How have you been preaching to your team about the defensive mentality that you guys need today?
Yeah, you know, it's a no threes scout, but it's really about stopping penetration and keeping guys in front. So you can't eliminate all of them. They're gonna make some off the bounce and whatnot and pull, and what you're hoping to do is like eliminate a category. So we're really trying to take away drive and kick threes and really fighting to keep guys in front, which is harder said than done, because they have 4 guards out there. And I know Akametu, I recruited him at UC Riverside a little bit, and he played at Santa Clara with our assistant coach Matt Hurwitz is from. And then Sabali, I mean, that guy's he's not the 3-point shooter, but he's just whipping it around out there. He's able to score in the middle of the floor, and you know, very similar to his head coach Dan Giroux, who was a point center basically, and they're utilizing him in that way. You know, they're using little like step up screens for him. He's able to use ball screens, very NBA like, very like Jamal Murray setting up for Jokic, all stuff that you know, we've talked about, and of course we hang out all the time. So but yes, it is really try to sprint our butts back in transition and stop the drive and kick threes.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. As always, good luck tonight. Fordham men's basketball at the Iona Gaels is coming up next on 90.7 FM WFUV Sports. And we welcome you back, folks, just in time for tip-off here between the Fordham Rams and the Iona Gaels. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you, of course, as the tip is won by the Iona Gaels, and Denver Anglin has it for the Gaels, and we are underway here in New Rochelle, New York. The renewed rivalry between the Fordham Rams and the Iona Gaels starts right now. Top of the key for Lamine Sabali, now out to the right corner. Right corner for Keyshawn Williams, now top of the key once again for Kozi Akametu. He's guarded by Akira Jacobs. Through the lane to the left side, and that is no good. In and out of the rim, rebounded by Jacobs.
And Tucker, one big storyline in terms of the starters, only one surprise. Zariq Nutter is not going to play tonight. He came out of Tuesday's game with an undescribed lower leg injury at halftime. He's not suited up today.
As Fordham trying to get some things going on the other end, but it gets away. It's stolen by C.J. Anthony, and now Iona comes in transition. Left corner, it's a wide open three for Akametu. That's a miss, in and out. Rattled through the rim again, and Day Reeves with the rebound. 18:56 to go here in the first half. No score yet. Henry into the corner for Lesmond. Lesmond's three is no good. Rebounded Iona. Akametu with it. Top of the key now for Lamine Sabali. He pulls the three from straight away. That's no good. Rebound Christian Henry.
Just about the only guy who doesn't shoot it on the floor, and yet he pulls into an early shot clock three there. That's the Iona brand of basketball under Dan Giroux.
Christian Henry starting his first game as a Ram. He gets it to Rika Schulte, who drives the lane through the right side, but his layup is no good. Rebound Iona. Quickly back the other way. It's Anglin with it on the right wing. He's guarded by Reeves. Up with the layup after the pass inside. Lamine Sabali breaks the ice on this one. It's 2-0 Gaels. Henry has it on the left wing for the Rams. Now top of the key for Jacobs. Give and go between Schulte. Rika Schulte finds Louis Lesmond. Lesmond is fouled by Akametu on the right wing, trying to move from his right to his left. That's the first foul of the game and the first personal against Akametu.
We finally get a break to talk about why this Dan Giroux team is so fast and why you're not going to be hearing Joe Henry talk a lot during live ball action, because they will push the ball every single play. This is the second fastest team in the country in terms of adjusted tempo. They're going to run it off of missed shots, make shots, and of course turnovers. They want to get into their action fast.
Yeah, 10 years in both the Cavaliers and then 1 year with the New Orleans Pelicans for Dan Giroux in his coaching career. His return to the college game and his first year with the Iona Gaels. Cross-court pass from Christian Henry. Now into the left corner. It's Akira Jacobs. His three is no good. Fight for the rebound. It's still loose. A battle between Lesmond and an Iona defender, but now Iona has it. The other way comes Keyshawn Williams. Layup no good with the right hand. Rebounded by Williams. It gets away from him, though, and it rolls out of bounds, but it's off Fordham. Believe it was off Day Reeves. And so it's going to be Gaels ball. 17:32 to go here in the first half.
So you see it right there, Tucker. You have four guys on the ground scrapping for a ball, but as soon as Iona gets possession, they're off to the races. That's Dan Giroux. This is a guy who's in the NBA for 10 years. He's playing an NBA-style offense. Get the ball and push it.
Yeah, plenty of pace early in this one, but still only one basket, and it's just 2-0 Iona. Moving inside after the inbound, that was Lamine Sabali, but it gets away from him. Jacobs involved on the steal, and now Christian Henry has it on the right wing for the Rams. Goes cross-court for Reeves. Day Reeves tries to step back, but he is blocked, and you heard the building erupt for that one. Day Reeves playing a bit of a revenge game tonight, Joe. He spent last year with these Iona Gaels and helped them all the way to the MAAC championship game.
Yeah, it's a rude welcome back for a guy who took them to the championship game as a 4 seed, allowed them to upset the number 1 Quinnipiac. First shot attempts a block.
Quick three after the inbound for Christian Henry from the left wing, and he connects to give Fordham the lead. It's 3-2 Rams, 17:05 to go in the first half.
And he puts his finger to his lips, silences that Iona bench early.
And for the first time tonight, Iona with a slow play offensive possession here. Sabali has it top of the key, looking for an option. He has Akametu. Akametu drives into the paint, goes up from short range with the midi, and Akametu hits 4-3, the Gaels lead. Reeves quickly the other way for the Rams. Finds Schulte inside. Schulte with the right hand. He gets the layup to go. Fordham retakes the lead. It's 5-4.
savvy play from Reeves. Takes a bump from his defender, gets him on his backside, drives inside, and then once the help comes in, he finds Schulte wide open.
Sabally into the right corner. That's no good from Denver Anglin. Rebounded by Fordham. It's Christian Henry. Henry slows things down.
Henry's going to run a lot of points today without Nutter, and we need him to get hot. He just hit his first 3 of the season. This is a guy who's been a sharpshooter in years prior. He's been at the ball in his hand a lot.
He steps into another 3 and connects. Christian Henry. He was directing traffic, but then decided to take the shot. It's 8-4 Fordham. Iona with it on the other end. Iona moving right to left in full body black. Black jerseys, black shorts. Now top of the key for Anglin. Fordham in full white. The 3 from Anglin is no good. There's a foul on the floor during the fight for the rebound. Believe that one is going to come against the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, Green trying to get positioning there on a rebound that took a little bit of an Iona-friendly bounce. He's not going to get the call, but that three-point attempt there, right, when you have to step back on your defender on the ball, you're defended pretty well, you have a hand in your face on that shot. It's not an in-rhythm shot. It hits off the back of the iron. That's a shot you live with, even if it does go in. Mike Magpie, we heard him in the coach's sound. He said, look, they're going to hit their shots. They take a ton of them. Our emphasis is going to have to be on eliminating certain types of shots. So in this game in particular, eliminating the drive and kick 3. Because so many times off of a drive and a kick, you're going to find such a wide open look. If we force these guys to get into a rhythm with the ball in their hands and then take a shot, their percentage is going to go way down.
Yeah, and the drive kick 3 opportunity often appears for a team when they're in transition and trying to get the defenders on the back foot. Coach Magpio told us pregame that one of the big focuses for his team this week in practice was getting back on D and making sure that you can get back and get set in time because of how fast this Iona team plays.
And then once you get into the half court, if you set your defense, you got to win on the perimeter. Iona profiles super similar to the Wagner team that Fordham played a few days ago. Not a lot of size, but a ton of confidence, a willingness to shoot, plenty of experience too. They went 14 for 26 from deep against Kansas City. They're 16th in the country in three-point percentage. Stopping the 3 has been a huge problem for Fordham in its first 3 games, and it's bizarre because multiple Magpio-led coach teams at UCR were top 10 in fewest three-point attempts allowed. They need to run Iona off of the perimeter today if they want to win.
Yeah, even more interesting for Iona, not only have they excelled in just the short time that they've been playing this season in shooting the 3-ball, but they've also excelled at defending the 3-ball as well, ranked nationally in three-point defense as well as three-point percentage as a team.
Yeah, 17th nationally. We're talking about one of the best three-point defending teams in the country, albeit they've only played 2 games. Most teams have played 3, but still, against 2 pretty solid teams that like to shoot it, they defended it very well, and Fordham has really struggled from beyond the arc. That's a big key. And it's huge to see Christian Henry creating his own shot from downtown and finally seeing not just 1 but 2 go in.
Can be a lethal combination if you can hit those 3-pointers. So far tonight, it's been the Fordham Rams with a 3-point shooting courtesy of Christian Henry. Inbound for Iona under their own basket here with 15:47 to go in the first half. Fordham leads 8-4. Lamine Sabally has it. He drives to the right block and he's fouled as he goes up for the shot. And so we may be seeing our first free throws of the night here, Joe.
We might not be seeing a whole ton on the Iona side. 1, they shoot a lot of 3s. But 2, Fordham is one of the best defenses in the country in terms of limiting free throws. Their discipline has been one of their biggest strengths so far. Fordham ranks top 5 in the nation in free throw rate against, which is to say that they hardly allow opponents to even get to the line. So very disciplined defense in the paint.
Sabally's first is good. It makes it 8-5, the lead for the Rams. Sabally last season was a 61% free throw shooter, but so far in the games he's played this year, he went 3 for 5 last time out against the University of Missouri at Kansas City. Misses the second of 2, so 1 for 2 at the line for Sabally, and it's a 3-point lead for the Rams. Christian Henry has it going the other way. Like you said, Joe, he's going to be running point a lot tonight with Zarik Nutter sitting with an injury. Rikus Schulte has it on the right block, working on his defender, backs him down, now spins, still trying to get through, goes up with the right hand, no good. Putback attempt is also no good from Bodija, and then he gets it to go. Abbas Bodija now in the game for the Rams, gets his first 2 of the night. It's 10-5.
The redshirt freshman checking in and making an impact early. It's what he's been doing all season.
And big contact on the play on the other end between Iona's C.J. Anthony and Day Reeves. Anthony goes to the floor, and Iona is going to inbound this from under their own basket. Iona gets it in. It's Toby Harris, right corner three. That's no good. Rebounded by Rika Schulte. Christian Henry has it for the Rams. Working on C.J. Anthony now. Gives it to Day Reeves. Reeves works around a Schulte screen. He's still on the left wing. Now it's Lesmond. Now into the right corner for Abbas Bodija. Bodija works down low. Now it's Schulte. A pass behind the back from Schulte to Lesmond, and now Fordham resets. Christian Henry around a screen. He pulls the three from the right wing, and it's good. Christian Henry is lights out in this first half. 14 and a half minutes to go, and it's 13-5 Fordham.
Out of nowhere, Tucker, there's no one who was riding the struggle bus more than Henry, except for maybe Louis Lesmond. And suddenly he's hit Fordham's first 3 threes of the game.
Henry stepping up big in this one. Right corner three for Lamine Sabali's no good. Fight for the rebound, and it is out of bounds off of Toby Harris of the Gaels. Fordham's ball.
Again, if you're going to leave a guy open, it's Lamine Sabali. He's only shot 1 3 all year so far. He's already taken 2 and he's missed 2. The defense on it hasn't been anything to write home about, but you don't need to defend that well. That's the 3 that you live with if you're Fordham.
Henry has it again for the Rams, guarded by his number counterpart, Toby Harris. Henry drives the lane. Now kicks it out for Day Reeves. Top of the key 3, that's no good. Fight for the rebound underneath, and it goes out of bounds off of Iona. Nice battle underneath that time from Rika Schulte.
It'll be interesting to see how Reeves plays tonight, not just going off of the game that he had against Wagner, slow start and then a thrilling finish, but in his return and playing the off-ball role that he played in his entire college career to this point with Henry running point.
Henry, quick inbound to Schulte, and the 2 is good. The layup from the left block, and Fordham leads 15-5. A 10-point lead now for the Rams in the early going. Gaels working it around the top, and now Day Reeves is whistled for a foul, trying to guard Denver Anglin nice and close above the three-point line.
What's most impressive about this, Tucker, this is an Iona team that has the capacity to deliver a heavy first punch. Against Hofstra in the opener at home, they started with a 20-2 lead, and in 2 games they're outscoring opponents by 22 in the first half. They're only even in second half competition.
Restart play once again. C.J. Anthony working on Christian Henry. He goes into the right corner. Now driving into the lane and making with the 2. It's Matt Reed all the way into the lane to cut the lead to 15-7 now for the Rams. Christian Henry guarded by Anglin on the left side. He has to get it to Schulte. Schulte gets it to Day Reeves. Now inside for Bodija. He goes up for the lay, but he is fouled. No good on the shot, but Abbas Bodija will go to the line. First free throws of the night for the Rams.
And that's the Day Reeves off-ball experience. He sits in the right corner, but when the ball comes near him, sneaky back cut, gets it in the dunker spot. Of course, Day Reeves is not going to launch from the dunker spot, but he takes one tentative dribble inside, draws the help defense. As soon as he does, boom, bounce pass finds Bodija. Easy layup, gets fouled.
Abbas Bodija at the line for the Rams. He misses the first of 2. He was 4 of 5 from the stripe this season so far. Before that, the 6'10" redshirt freshman out of Brisbane, Australia, played ball before college at the Center of Excellence in Canberra. As he misses the second of 2, he goes 0 for 2 at the stripe, but it's nearly rebounded by Lesmond, and there's a foul against Iona on the floor, so Fordham going to retain possession after the 2 missed free throws.
The Iona player went diving to the floor to try and collect a loose ball after Lesmond collided with Roar. Corers checked into the game. I think they're just calling it out of bounds on that, but they're going to the monitor here.
It looked like there was a whistle earlier than when the ball left.
Bounds. Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
A lot of contact in this game so far. It's been very chippy, but the referees haven't been calling too much in terms of the fouls. It's 4 fouls so far for the Rams, 2 fouls against the Gaels, as Christian Henry readies to inbound this one for Fordham. He gets it in to Bodija, now back to Henry, and he'll set up the offense. Screen set by Rurakur. And they're going to call the moving screen against the core. Christian Henry drained the shot that won't count. And it's a turnover, Gaels ball.
It's one of those little things with the core where he shocks you with his athleticism, his shooting, his confidence, but sometimes just rookie mistakes like that. Doing a little bit too much, setting a screen for a guy who's already 3 for 3. He doesn't need a lot of space. Trust me, he's hot.
Now to the left wing for 3. It's C.J. Anthony. Iona for 3, and that cuts the Fordham lead to 5, now 15-10. Louis Lesmond, left wing for the Rams. Christian Henry, right wing for 3. That's no good, his first miss of the night. Pass forward for Iona. In transition, Anglin goes down hard. Ryan Pettis was involved diving for the basketball and got underneath Anglin. He goes to the floor. They're going to call the foul against Pettis.
Yeah, pretty much took his legs out from under him. Obviously unintentionally apologized to him afterwards, gave him a tap on the chest, but pretty much took his legs out, almost like a slide tackle. He was
if I didn't know any better, Joe, it looked like a yellow card to me.
And worth noting, this is huge minutes for a Fordham 5 that we've never seen on the floor before. Day Reeves, Ryan Pettis, Abbas Bodija, Roar Core, and Louis Lesmond.
Inbound comes to Anthony. Works around a screen, now into the paint. He's going to fire it out for Matt Reed. Right wing 3 is good. Matt Reed cuts the Fordham lead to 2. 12:20 to go in the first half, and Fordham leads 15-13. It's an 8-point run now for the Gaels. Pettis has it on the right wing for the Rams. Works around a Bodija screen. Out to his right, now to Bodija, top of the key. He finds Louis Lesmond for 3, left wing. That's no good. Rebound by Denver Anglin.
It hasn't fallen for him all year.
Anglin steps into a 3 on the left wing on the other side. That's no good. It bounces out of bounds. It's going to be Fordham's ball. And that is our first stoppage under 12 here at the Hynes Center. Joe, 15-13 is the lead for the Rams, but an 8-0 run leading to now Iona charging back into this game.
And you see it even on a possession like that where it doesn't end up in Iona's favor. An early shot clock, missed 3. But here's your point guard sprinting up the floor, stopping at the left wing with a hand in his face and just pulling a 3 with 25 seconds left in the shot clock, and the rebound bounces out of bounds because no one's gotten to the basket yet to get under the basket to try and rebound it. So you live with the misses if you're Iona, because in an instant you can get back into a game that you got punched in the mouth in, and that's what they've done here, coming all the way back here with an 8-0 run.
Yeah, Fordham did a good job early getting out in front, but now they're going to have to protect themselves and their lead for the remainder of this half. 15-13 is the lead for the Rams over the Gaels. 11:55 to go in the first half. But now we send it back to the Rose Hill studio for a one-on-one scoreboard update. Here is Izzy Randazzo.
It is an exciting weekend for men's basketball in the A10 Conference. This evening, 2 games are being played, and the competition is heating up for the 4 teams showing out on the court. Of course, we've got our very own Fordham Rams stampeding onto Iona's home court, and the 1-2 UAlbany Great Danes are facing off against the 2-1 Rhode Island Rams. Both games have only just begun. Sophomore guard Amir Lindsay of UAlbany leads in scoring, averaging a nice 15.3 points per game. On top for the Rhode Island Rams, junior guard Jonah Hinton is attaining an average 15.7 points per game. Last night, Chicago's Loyola University was beaten by Kansas's Wichita State Shockers with a final score of 95-74. Tomorrow, a total of 8 exciting games are in store for the A10 Conference, and we'll be seeing appearances by teams including the Dayton Flyers and the Davidson Wildcats. We've got 7 teams with a 3-0 record so far, and each are striving to maintain their lead against their fellow competition. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Izzy Randazzo.
And we welcome you back inside the Hynes Center here in New Rochelle, New York, the home of the Iona Gaels. The Fordham Rams lead the Iona Gaels 15-13 in a renewed rivalry. And Joe, there's much more than just old blood between these two programs. There's also, among the new blood of these programs, the 2 brand new head coaches this year. There's some history between Mike Magpayo and Dan Giroux.
Look, there's a lot between these 2 teams and these 2 coaches. We're not going to be able to get to all of it right now, but this is a special game, Tucker. For a long time, this is one of the best basketball rivalries in New York City. They've played annually for 27 years straight, but since 2006, they haven't met a single time. Now, suddenly, that changes. Well, there's a story behind that. We'll get to that in the next break.
Indeed, there is, Joe. And it's quite the enticing story at that. Fordham and Iona, of course, were both in the MAAC together for a brief time and played each other twice a year for a good part of the 1980s.
Played each other in 3 MAAC championships as well.
A lob to Lesmond, but he misses the layup. Nearly a highlight play there between Dede Reeves and Louis Lesmond. But instead it's a turnover and Iona has it.
Wide open layup.
CJ Anthony, top of the key, guarded by Akira Jacobs. Tries to work inside. Now he has to kick it into the right corner. Pulls a three, and that is good. Chase Cormier into the game for the first time tonight, and he drills the first shot he takes. Iona takes the lead at 16-15.
Pio just said to Lesmond, what are you doing? Why are you sagging off your guy in the corner off of a drive?
Dede Reeves drives into the paint on the right block. He's fouled as he goes up for the layup, and he will go to the line for 2.
A little more on this rivalry when we have a chance. Rivalry's renewed because Fordham head coach Mike Magpio and Iona head coach Dan Giroux coached together at Campbell University and were roommates. And they were roommates, Tucker, at Campbell University from 2013 to 2015 before Giroux became a head coach for the Cavaliers in the NBA. Magpio eventually became a head coach at UCR. Now finally they're reunited. Don't worry, Tucker, there's even more to this we'll get to eventually.
Reeves, his first free throw is good. That ties the game at 16. And we heard a little bit of it during the coach's sound before this game got going, Joe. They had such a close relationship when they were on the same coaching staff. They shared a lot of ideas with each other, spent a lot of late nights just talking ball and bouncing around different ideas.
And
now,
drinking beers, as Magpio would know.
As Reeves makes the second of 2, he goes 2 for 2 at the stripe and gives Fordham a 17-16 lead. Iona going to start things quickly. 11 minutes and counting here in the first half. It's been quite the eventful half between these two squads. Pettis guarding C.J. Anthony near the logo. Now Anthony drives all the way into the lane. His layup is up and over the rim, no good. Ryan Pettis pushing the pace for the Rams. Now inside for Schulte, that's blocked. Blocked that time by Khalil Badru, but now inside for Akira Jacobs, and he throws it down with 2 hands. That's a grown man's jam. But now, coming the other way is C.J. Anthony. He's going to be fouled here by Pettis. They'll bring it to the side. That's the second transition foul for Ryan Pettis, and the second time that Pettis really has done a good job slowing Iona down by taking that foul.
Slowing them down is, he literally looks like a guy shot out of a cannon. He was sprinting full speed, and then he got to the edge of the Iona logo. He took even just a little bit of contact this time from Pettis. It was no slide tackle, and then he went full horizontal, and by the time he landed, he was in front of the free throw line. I mean, this guy was literally shot out of a cannon on that foul.
C.J. Anthony at the free throw line. Fordham with a 19-16 lead here, 10:34 to go in the first half.
Very much worth noting for a Fordham team that does not foul a lot. Iona's already in the bonus with 10 minutes and 34 seconds to go. That's a big problem for Fordham.
7 personals against the Rams to just 3 against the Gaels. Anthony makes the first. It's now a 2-point game.
Also, Tucker, only one of those fouls was a shooting foul. So we're talking about fouls in transition. Every place is transition, but in transition before the Iona Gaels even get into their action.
Anthony hits both. And it's now 19-18. Fordham with the lead. Fordham going to inbound Iona, thinking about a press, but they'll think better of it as they sink back into their defensive looks. Christian Henry on the ball again for the Fordham Rams. He's been almost the exclusive ball handler to start the offense for Fordham tonight. Rika Schulte, top of the key. Handoff play for Dede Reeves. Reeves down to the right block. Fires it into the corner. This is a 3. That's no good. It's airballed that time by Rura Kaur. Rebound Iona. Quick transition. Cormier with it. Now it's Akametu. Akametu guarded by Schulte. Akametu drives, and the layup is good. Right to the lane through the left block. Akametu for 2, and Iona retakes the lead. It's 20-19 Gaels.
And ironically, that might be the longest possession they've had. I think there are still 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Henry guarded by Keyshawn Williams back in the game for the Gaels. Now Dede Reeves right wing. Into the right corner for Rura Kaur. And he goes back up top for Henry. Henry drives into the lane. Takes the contact and lays it in with the left hand. Christian Henry Now double digits for Henry in his first start as a Ram, and Fordham is up 21-20.
That's what you love to see, is a guy who almost took 5 free throws a game last year. Penetrate, get to the rim, draw some contact. What he did there. He sought it out.
Akametu, guarded by Schulte. Akametu steps back for 3 from the left side. That's no good. Rebound to Kira Jacobs. Gets it to Christian Henry to get things going for the Rams. Across the timeline, Henry's guarded by Chase Cormier. Henry, and it's poked away by Cormier. It's backcourt. Cormier laying on top of Christian Henry, and they're going to call the foul, I believe, against Cormier. Looked like a wrestling match out there, right on top of the O and the Iona logo at center court.
Honestly, that's really lucky for Fordham, because Mike Magpayo was trying to get a timeout there. So instead of spending a timeout on a play that shouldn't have even happened to begin with, a poke away when you're a step inside the half-court logo, you end up getting a foul on the other team, draws you close to the bonus.
Yeah, now 4 fouls tonight for Iona. The first personal against Chase Cormier. Fordham going to inbound it from right in front of their own bench. Akira Jacobs into Christian Henry. Akor, Reeves, and Schulte, the other 3 out there for the Rams right now. Schulte has it. Top of the key, just inside the three-point line, finds Akira Jacobs. Now he gets it to Dede Reeves. Reeves looking for some options. Guarded by Khalil Badru. Works around a screen. Now he has a lane to drive in the middle, but he is blocked by Akametu. Akor has it. Now in the corner for Reeves. Dede Reeves takes it. That's no good from the right wing. And now rebounded by Iona. Quickly the other way. Akametu loses the ball, and that's going to go in the direction of the Fordham Rams. Last touch by Akametu.
I'm trying to think of an analogy to put that into picture for the audience. Christian Henry was standing there like a man faced by 5 bulls rushing down the streets of Madrid, and he just reached out his left hand, somehow got a piece of the ball, hit off of a guy's leg, and Fordham has possession.
Christian Henry with his name all over this game so far, Joe. Most of the scoring for the Rams and now making the defensive plays as well. Dede Reeves gets it down low to the left block for Schulte. The layup is no good with the left hand. Rebound Iona.
A lot of missed wide open looks at the 10.
Top of the key for Khalil Badru. Steps into the free throw line and hits the mid-range. It's 2 for Badru. And now the Gaels lead 22-21, 7:40 to go in the first half. Christian Henry works around a screen, now gets it down low for Schulte. Schulte up with the left hand, and that is good. Schulte shaking his head, disappointed in himself, but he does finally get one to go. 23-22 Fordham.
That's the composure you need to see. He waited, he drew a guy on a pump fake, and then he went up with it.
Akametu, left wing, guarded by Akor. Reeves trying to poke it away. Akametu pulls from the free throw line. That is no good on the fade. Rebounded by Fordham.
You live with that every single day. Guy trying to create for himself, settles for a contested mid-range, still pretty early in the shot clock.
Henry works around a Schulte screen. Rika Schulte from the top of the key. His 3 is no good, off the back iron. Rebounded by Christian Henry, though. Down low for Akor, and he throws it down. Roar Akor gets the wide open look, and he uses 2 hands to be sure. 25-22 Rams.
He had no momentum. I thought he was just going to go up for a lay, and boom, his head's above the rim.
And a quick 3 on the other end for Iona, taken by Lamine Sabali, but that's no good, rebounded by Dede Reeves.
I can't believe this. He's taken 3 threes already. He's only taken 1 in the team's first 2 games.
Dede Reeves drives the lane, up with the right hand, and it's silky smooth for Dede Reeves, right through the paint, putting on a show a little bit against his former team. 27-22 Fordham, as Iona I think they're forced to take a timeout here.
It's a tale of 2 teams on offense. On one end, Fordham's ball movement, even on possessions that end in a miss, has been exceptional. And on the other end, the ball is stuck for Iona, and guys have been settling for bad shots. Sabali's been left open, yes. That's because the guys are reading the scouting report, and he's not a three-point shooter. So why have you taken 3 threes already in the first half? You didn't even make your first one. He's 0 for 3. And then on the other end with Iona, you have other guys trying to create inside. They're well defended as they try and drive, so they step into a mid-range shot. Fordham's going to live with that every single time. That's why they've reopened up this lead.
What's so interesting is how many open opportunities Fordham has had that they haven't been able to convert on in this game that would suggest that they should be down, but then you look at the scoreboard, Fordham still protecting a 5-point lead. They've been on a 6-0 run in the last minute and 19 seconds of game time. And Joe, I think it comes down to maybe poor shot selection out of this Iona team. They move the ball down court very fast, but then occasionally they're taking shots that really aren't the best looks ever. We had the one fadeaway from mid-range just inside the free throw line that didn't go, and like you've mentioned already, Sabally has taken 3 3-pointers when that hasn't really been his shot so far this season.
I think with the exception of one shot where Lesmond tried to sag off of his defender and reach a hand in there on help defense, ended up being a driving kick, wide open three that was cashed in on. All 11 of Iona's other three-point attempts have been shots that Fordham is willing to let them take. They're 3 for 12 from three, 25%. It's a rather small sample size, but this is a team that ranks 16th in the country in three-point percentage. I think you're really happy to hold them to 25% through nearly half of a game. And the reason why is because they're contesting the shots that they do take. They're leaving guys open, really the one guy who is not supposed to be shooting for Iona, and he's beating his own team by taking these shots early in the shot clock when he could be finding a better look, especially a guy like Lamine Sabally. He's playing the small ball 5 for Iona, but this guy's as good a playmaker, if not the best playmaker on the entire court. We saw it in his last game. He had 7 assists, and he has not been doing any of that. He's been looking for his own shot, and he's been settling for these threes, and yes, they're open, but man, I think Fordham lives with that every single time down the floor.
And Joe, for the Fordham Rams as well, Christian Henry has been having a great night. There's no doubt about that. But how important is it for Day Reeves to see that first bucket finally go in? He was 0 for 4 before he cut through the lane and made that nice little layup with the right hand for his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, it's a great point because Reeves has been subject to a couple of slow starts. I mean, in the NJIT team, he was really the only guy who got it going offensively the entire game, and that started in the first half. But against Wagner, only 2 points in the first half. They needed him to get going, so he got into rhythm by the time they needed him for a game winner. This is a game that could require a Day Reeves game winner in a revenge game. It's good to see him finally find a flow offensively here.
Keyshawn Williams with it for Iona, tries to cut into the lane. His layup is no good. Rebounded by the Rams.
More stout defense and discipline too.
Henry has it for the Rams. He gets to the low block, but now has to get rid of it to Rurakor, and then they get it back to Christian Henry. 6 minutes flat to go here in the first half. Fordham leads 27-22. Spinning into the lane is Schulte. He misses the layup. Fight for the rebound. I believe it was last touched by Rurakor.
Again, it's everything but the finish with this guy, Schulte. He's making some fantastic moves to get inside or getting the ball. A great play from a point guard, getting a bounce pass. He's wide open. Just not getting the finish to go feels like a confidence issue more than anything else.
Yeah, Schulte led the Rams in points against Wagner with 14, but tonight he's really struggled to find the net. Anglin has it top of the key. Now it's Toby Harris, left wing. 3 is good over Christian Henry. Toby Harris drags Iona back into this one, and it's 27-25 Rams.
Yeah, he's what Mike Magpie would call a driller. He's a guy who shot 40% on his career in 3 years at D3 Brandeis. That's what he's in the game for, is to hit threes.
Inside for Schulte again. Schulte with the hook shot. That's no good with the left hand. Rebounded Iona.
Another solid look, just can't cash in.
Keyshawn Williams working on Reeves. Now it's Sabally. Sabally on Schulte. Now to the corner, it's Williams. Williams has to kick it out to the right wing. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now a pull-up from the free throw line for Anglin. That's no good, but it's rebounded. That time by Luke Jungers now in the game, and it's stolen at half court by Day Reeves. Wide open for the layup. He's got it. Day Reeves with the quick steal at half court. And the wide open lay to reopen the lead for Fordham. It's now 29-25.
He's a little, you got it. No, you got it. On that pass out of the offensive rebound, Reeves is like, I got it. I'll just steal it and take it to the cup.
Sabally finds Anglin. Now Keyshawn Williams, excuse me. Williams, left wing, guarded by Christian Henry. He gets it to Sabally. Sabally out for Anglin. Anglin works into the paint. He puts up a floater. That's good. The soft touch for Anglin, and it's 29-27 Fordham.
Again, you live with that. Day Reeves had to cover 3 guys on that possession. He still was able to contest that shot well and without fouling. Fordham hasn't committed a foul in 7 minutes since entering the bonus. That's fantastic.
Day Reeves, now Christian Henry again. Akira Jacobs, right wing 3 is no good off the catch, and it's rebounded by Iona. Lamine Sabally fires it into the left corner. Luke Jungers is no good after he baited the defender. He misses the wide open three, and Fordham rebounds.
See, that's Lamine Sabali that you have to be scared of. He brings up the ball himself as the center for this team, and he zips a pass into the near side corner for an early shot clock three.
That was a fast mover into the corner, Joe. 3:25 to go in the first half. Now pass down low for Akira Jacobs. Into the corner for Roracor. His three is no good. Rebounded by Schulte, but it gets away, and it's picked up by Iona. Now Iona has it. Right wing for England. Now top of the key. Moving inside. It's Toby Harris, and he hits the mid-range. Toby Harris ties the game at 29 with 3 minutes to go. First half of action here between the Rams and the Gaels. First game between these two teams since 2006. Fordham leads the all-time series 32-31. Reeves, left wing three, no good. Rebounded by Akira Jacobs, but he falls to the floor. And I believe there's going to be a jump ball there between Jacobs and Sabali, unless there's a foul.
They're calling it Fordham ball. I'm not sure if they're calling it an out of bounds, a foul, a jump ball.
If it's Fordham ball, I believe that would be a jump ball. The possession arrow is pointing towards the Rams. Although referees seem like they might be indicating towards a foul. We'll get that sorted out, but with 2:41 to go in the first half here, it's now a tie ball game, 29-all between the Fordham Rams and the Iona Gaels. And we'll be right back, but now we send it back to the studio for another one-on-one scoreboard update. Here's Izzy Randazzo.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
The top 25 teams in the NCAA are all certainly going to be putting on their own shows tonight and this weekend. Right now, Indiana State is going head-to-head with Duke, and Kentucky is in pursuit of their third win of the season against Eastern Illinois. The score for that game is currently 30-24 with Duke leading. Later, we've got Michigan versus TCU, Arizona taking on UCLA, and Gonzaga challenging Arizona State. 4 games will be in action tomorrow, including Princeton hooping against Kansas and BYU playing against UConn. I have to say, the NCAA conference rankings are looking interesting as of late. Currently, the Duke Blue Devils reign supreme at the top of the ACC. The Bryant Bulldogs stand their ground at number 1 in the American East. The Auburn Tigers are roaring at the top of the SEC. Michigan State is embodying their fortified Spartan spirit at number 1 in the Big Ten. Houston is ranked number 1 in the NCAA standings, and the question being asked is this: can the Cougars team hang on to the lead with other teams making moves of their own? The season has only started, yet the top 25 in the NCAA are heading into games with strong levels of ferocity and confidence. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Izzy Randazzo.
We welcome you back inside the Hynes Center here on the campus of Iona University. The Iona Gaels and the Fordham Rams renewing an age-old rivalry in the New York City area. We're all knotted up at 29, Joe. It's been a very eventful first half. Last 2 minutes 41 here. What does Fordham need to do to take a lead into the locker room?
Good question, Doug. You need to finish the plays that you're starting. I love the way the Fordham offense is running through the first 17 minutes of play. They only have 29 points. That's maybe a tiny bit better than their offense was running against Wagner, even in the second half where they were better than the first half. It's everything but the execution for Fordham. You need to start seeing some shots go in off of these great passes. Inbound
to Rikus Schulte. Now Christian Henry has it, top of the key for the Rams. Working through contact, and that's blocked by Akametu. Akametu with a strong block right in front of the student section for Iona. Fordham will inbound underneath. They have 12 seconds on the shot clock.
He just mean-mugged Christian Henry, too. Gave a shh to the Iona bench earlier after a three. These guys are talking to each other.
Certainly all the makings of a rivalry game here tonight as the inbound comes to Rikus Schulte. Schulte gets it to Henry. Henry back to Schulte now, nearly loses the ball, now finds Dede Reeves. Into the corner, Akira Jacobs, left corner three, that's no good. Tip by Schulte, and he gets the putback to go. Fordham retakes the lead, it's 31-29.
Fordham is a few made tip-ins away from being straight dominant on the O-boards. 10-3 their advantage in offensive rebounding.
Left wing, now left corner for Sabali. He drives and now gets it out to the right wing. It's Jungers. Jungers now outside once again for Toby Harris. Harris with a fadeaway long two, no good, rebounded by Dede Reeves.
There's a competitive rebound for Reeves over Sabali, a center.
Louis Lesmond back in the game for the Rams. He finds Day Reeves, and now top of the key for Rikus Schulte. Mike Magpie calling out his play for the Rams. Reeves now top of the key, waiting for a Schulte's screen, and he gets it. Reeves still looking for space. He pulls from past the free throw line, maybe a 14, 15-footer, and he gets the 2 to go, and it's 33-29 Rams.
This kid is so money in long two-point games. 7 for 9 now on the season on jumpers inside the arc.
1:18 to go here in the first half. Moving inside, it's C.J. Anthony looking at the Fordham bench and pointing at his head. There is a lot of chippiness between these two teams. A lot of looks. We haven't seen anything flare up yet, but the 2 is good from Anthony, and it's 33-31 Fordham, now a minute to go in the half. And there's a steal on the other end by Anthony. Here comes Iona in transition. Sabali, the lob, and the finish by Akametu. Oh my goodness. The alley-oop feed, and Akametu throws it down to retie the game at 33. Joe, what did I just see?
You just saw the Dwayne Wade to LeBron meme from 15 years ago. D'Andreo's coached LeBron James. He's seen some of that before. That's reminiscent of what we just saw.
Goodness gracious, a high-flying dunk from Cozy Akametu, assisted by Lamine Sabali. We talked about Sabali's ability to find open guys on the floor, but I mean, that's finding an open man next to the rim.
Oh my goodness. I mean, he got up for that. He threw it down. This crowd is blackout today. Everyone's wearing all black. It is packed in here. It was packed in here 30 minutes prior to tip. That's something we're not used to. Not to say that Fordham crowds haven't been decent so far this season, but this place is booked solid, and it's booked solid well before the game even starts. They got something to cheer for here.
One of the toughest alley-oop dunks that I have had the pleasure of seeing in person. If only it was the Rams and not the Gaels, though. As this game is now retied, Iona fighting tooth and nail to keep Fordham in range here. 45 seconds to go in the first half. Day Reeves has it for the Fordham Rams. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Screen by Schulte. Christian Henry thinks about a really deep 3. Now Lesmond takes for 3 from the left wing. It's no good. Rebounded by Iona. More struggles from three-point land for Louis Lesmond.
He's 1 for 14 now on the season. He leads all Rams in three-point attempts, and he's one of the lowest in terms of makes.
About 3 seconds between the shot and game clock. 15 seconds on the game clock. 10 on the shot. Tie game. Right wing. Now into the left corner. A wide open look for 3. That's good! Luke Jungers gives the Gaels a 3-point lead with 3 seconds to go. Fordham quickly the other way. Christian Henry at the buzzer is no good. And the Iona Gaels, after being punched squarely in the jaw by this Fordham Rams team, manages to take advantage of a lot of missed execution right at the rim by the Fordham Rams. And not only are they in this game, not only is this game not tied, but Iona leaves the first half with a 3-point lead over the Fordham Rams.
A lot of it is missed execution from Fordham. A lot of misses inside when you are wide open after an action designed to get you wide open. After the help guy came up to get the ball handler, a bounce pass inside, you have to finish those plays, but also a lid on the rim from three-point land. This Fordham team started out, I think, 3 for 6 from three-point range. Christian Henry, thanks to him, he has 3 threes to start the half. No one else has hit a 3, and no one's hit a 3 in the past 12 minutes or so. Fordham's 1 for their last 12 from three-point range, 3 for 17 overall. That's not a recipe for success, Tucker.
Yeah, and Fordham has also had a size advantage tonight against this smaller Iona team. That hasn't mattered because Fordham's larger players haven't really been able to execute underneath. One guy stands out particularly in the starting lineup was Rikus Schulte, who led the team in scoring last time tonight. He's 4 for 11 from the field, Joe, and a lot of those looks from the field have been right under the rim, either putbacks or layups that are really not super covered because he's working against an undersized man.
It's points left on the table. We see open 3s missed by Lesmond, by Akira Jacobs late in that half, even by Henry after he got hot, by Day Reeves, and then on the interior, man. Schulte 4 for 11. Bodija hasn't been getting a lot to go. He's 1 for 2, but another missed gimme from him. Roar Kors missed a gimme inside. That's the issue.
But the beauty for the Fordham Rams, though, is that they are not anywhere close to being out of this game, though they've made plenty of mistakes, and they haven't been shooting the ball great either from the field or from three-point land. They are still only down 3. 36-33 is the lead for the Iona Gaels inside the Hynes Center in New Rochelle, New York. But for now, we're going to send it back to the Rose Hill studio for the one-on-one halftime report. Here are Anthony Smith and Izzy Randazzo.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome inside to the Rose Hill Studios for the one-on-one halftime show. I'm Anthony Smith alongside Izzy Randazzo. Izzy, the Fordham Rams trailing the Iona Gaels 36-33. So far, an interesting game down in New Rochelle. Quite back and forth between these two teams. We see Fordham come out with a big lead early in the first half, and then the Gaels going on a run, able to take the lead, and then Fordham going back to taking the lead, and then Fordham with the lead throughout most of this first half, but Iona hitting that last-minute three-point shot to give them a three-point lead at the end of the first half. We'll talk a lot about a lot of the points from this game, but so far, Christian Henry for the Fordham Rams really stepping up with Zariq Nutter not playing today. Had 15 points and 19 points in the first two games, dealing with an injury. That's why he's out tonight. Henry had 2 quick three-pointers within those 6 minutes. He ended up hitting his first 3 of the season here today and has 9 points for these Fordham Rams, but he's the only one who has hit a three-pointer.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Christian Henry came out hot. He came out with an air of confidence that we haven't seen so far this season, so that's been obviously great to have on the team. It's been great to see that so far tonight. But I really think these threes, that's the Achilles heel for this Fordham team right now against the Gaels. They got to hit them. They have to. Right now, the only player who has hit a three or has hit, any threes has been Christian Henry with 3 and 5. Every other player has either missed or hasn't taken the shot. So we gotta get on that, guys.
And then you mentioned just the three-pointers just being a big part of the game. A big part of the three-point game for the Fordham Rams team is Day Reeves. We haven't really seen him connect with the three so far this game. He struggled, started off 0 for 4. He's got 8 points now, but, what do you just need to see out of Day Reeves in this second half against his former team?
I think just coming out with maybe a little bit more confidence in his game, because he is an incredible player, as we've seen. He knows how to perform, and he knows how to perform well. It's just the field goal percentage is something that is not really looking too hot right now, and also the three-point percentage. He's 2 and 2 for free throws, which, we love, but we really got to kind of capitalize on the field goals and the three-pointers.
And a lot of things that we see from Day Reeves, we've seen struggles throughout the first half these past couple games. Not really against NJIT, but more last game against Wagner, where he really steps up for the Fordham Rams when they need him most. And he did that last week game against Wagner in that second half, hitting the game-winning shot with just 3 seconds to go. And then I look more again at this Fordham team. I look at Rikus Schulte, was leading the Fordham Rams in scoring last game. He's got only 8 points today, but he's playing a big game as far as the rebounds here tonight.
He is, definitely. He's one of the best rebounders on Fordham's team, no doubt about it. His field goal percentage right now is 4 and 11, which, maybe it's an off game. He doesn't really look the same as he has in other games, so, it could just be that he needs to kind of get into the right mindset for the second half. But rebounding, looking great. Right now he has 8. He has 3 offensive rebounds and 5 defensive rebounds, which, awesome. He's a bigger guy. He's a big, so he can get the rebounds when he needs to, which is great to see.
And as far as this rest of the Fordham team, it's really just been those 3 guys, Schulte, Reeves, Henry, and then everybody else. Haven't really seen a lot of scoring from this Fordham team, haven't been really spreading the points around. You look at this Iona team, a majority of their players have found some buckets today, and just what do you really need to see out of this Fordham team overall to help them, try and get something going offensively?
I think slowing down Iona's offense is the biggest aspect, because we kind of saw earlier how Christian Henry was slowing the game down. We got to keep that momentum for sure, because as we've spoken about before, Iona has a very fast-paced offense. So the key to that, slow it down, be more concise with plays, think about plays more, and just get into it a little bit more slowly.
And you mentioned slowing down this team, this Iona team, with the way they play offensively, very fast-paced. One thing that Fordham did really good, which Tucker and Joe pointed out, was letting Sabali take the open three-pointers. He's not one of Iona's best scorers, so just letting him take those shots and leading to more opportunities for the Fordham Rams to eventually get those rebounds that they have been good at here from this first half, mostly because of Schulte. Maybe what does Iona need to do besides playing a fast-paced offense that could really get them going offensively? We haven't really seen a lot of rhythm here from them today.
I think they got to rebound more, honestly. Not as good as Fordham, which I guess we want to see because we do want Fordham. But, just the rebounding needs to improve, I think. And just kind of getting around Fordham's bigs, because Fordham has a lot of taller, bigger players. So just kind of weaving their way around that would be successful for them.
And it's really interesting to see the stat line here. The Fordham Rams outscoring the Gaels here tonight in rebounds, 27-17, 12-3 in offensive rebounds, but they're down by 3 here tonight. It's just really interesting to see how they're not able to score on those opportunities that they're getting here tonight. And we've seen that story a lot throughout the season here for the Fordham Rams. A story that we've seen here a lot from this Fordham Rams team is their discipline as well, not being able to foul the other team. But through those 10 minutes, Iona was already in the bonus. Maybe you look at it as a strategy to try and slow down this Iona offense, get them to the free throw line more. And then towards those last 10 minutes, they started to become the more disciplined team that they are. So what do you really just look for this Fordham Rams team as far as discipline? What strategy do you really look for them to be the best?
I think honestly just getting out of their heads, because they, like I said, they did come out really hot, and then they kind of, trailed a little bit with the momentum. So I feel like keeping that momentum up, keeping the morale high among the team is crucial for them. And like I said, the threes, that's got to improve. The field goal percentages for each player, that's got to improve. But like I said, rebounding is looking great. Free throws, for what it's worth, are looking great. So just really slowing down Iona's offense, like we've talked about, is really, I think that's going to be the key for them to be successful with this win.
And then going forward into this second half, this Fordham team, they've been on some good runs throughout this game. Obviously still down by 3. It's really just the lack of offensive performance from the team throughout as a whole. You see Akira Jacobs, he's only got 2 points on the board. Louis Lamone, he's 0 for 4 here shooting for tonight, has not put up any points here tonight. And then the freshman Roarcore, who's been kind of that freshman power for the Fordham Rams, he's stuck with 2, and then Green also with 2. It's just, who do you really look for out of those 4 players I mentioned, if multiple, to try and step up for this Fordham team, trying to get a spark going into the second half?
We've called Roarcore the freshman spark for this Fordham team. He is incredible. He's a player that knows how to make things happen on the court. So I feel like maybe the first half just wasn't, it just wasn't his half, and that's okay, it happens. But this next half, he's really got to step up, because he is one of the crucial players for the Fordham team. He can make it happen. He has in the past, and he's just got to dial in and kind of make that happen for this team right now.
And then lastly, one more point. Obviously, we mentioned Zariq Nutter not playing tonight. He was big on the offensive performance in those first 2 games. Only 4 points in the last game, but left in that second half with the injury. You think that's really putting an effect here on this Fordham team offensively, and maybe that's in their heads here tonight?
I think it definitely is, because I feel like Zariq Nutter is an integral part of this team. They play, he's like a puzzle piece, basically, to this team, and maybe without him, they're just not complete. But it's been great to see Christian Henry stepping up. I'd love to see that. He has been doing really well, and I feel like maybe Christian Henry can not so much take the place of Nutter, but kind of fill his shoes for this time being and lead his team to victory.
I think another thing what's big with Christian Henry, he started off so hot to start off that first half. You just got to try and keep him going. Don't sub him out when he's shooting the rock so well. But that's going to wrap it up here for the one-on-one halftime show in the Rose Hill Studios. We will see you back for the post-game show. But for now, 36-33 in favor of the Iona Gaels. Let's send you back to the Hynes Athletic Center, where Tucker Austin and Joe Henry have you covered for the rest of the second half.
What's up, everyone? I'm Chris Carino.
I'm Brendan Shorey.
And I'm Tucker Austin.
Your Fordham football broadcasters for the 2025 season.
Join us every Saturday on 90.7 FM and on WFUV Sports YouTube page for live radio broadcasts of every Fordham football game as the Rams continue their quest to their first Patriot League title since 2014.
With a new look offense and veteran leaders on defense, you won't want to miss this. Fordham football, every weekend on WFUV Sports. And we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, inside the Hynes Athletic Center here in New Rochelle, New York, on the campus of Iona University, where we've got the second half of some Friday night men's college hoops almost ready to go for you. Iona leading the Fordham Rams 36-33 after a very fast-paced first half. A lot of three-point shooting, not a lot of three-point making, Joe, but shout out to our halftime crew, Anthony Smith and Izzy Randazzo, for breaking things down from the first half for us. Joe, before we get into the second half, I want to give some more time to the storylines between these two head coaches because, like we've been saying all night, these two teams haven't played since 2006, but something's been brewing between these two teams that have led them to meet up once again here in 2025.
Look, the rivalry, the coaches aren't rivals. McPire would tell you that. They're friends, not rivals. The teams are rivals. The fan bases are rivals. It's packed today in the Hynes Center. This rivalry, Tucker, runs so deep that these teams' databases have, let's say, conflicting views on the matchup history. Iona says, hey, we're 31-31, a good deadlock rivalry. Fordham says, I don't think so. We're 32-31. And I genuinely couldn't find out which record was correct. Regardless, we finally get to restart this rivalry. First game in 19 years. As I said, it's thanks to these coaches, Magpayo and Garreau. So one guy, a former West Coast business owner, the other a 5-year D1 player at Richmond. Garreau pretty much lets Magpayo live with him for free at a time where Magpayo was barely making any money. They become great friends. They're obviously coaches together. Then Garreau makes a joke to Magpayo, a literal joke in 2015 while they were watching a Rockets game on TV saying, hey man, I imagine if I got to work in the NBA. So what does Mike Magpayo do? He texts his one singular NBA connection, Kobe Altman, who, you guessed it, worked for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the rest was history. Garreau works in the Cavs organization for 8 years, then goes to New Orleans for 2 before taking the Iona job this year and joining Mike Magpayo in New York City. And they are right where they started, coaching college hoops, a full circle story, not just for these two teams, Tuck, for these two close friends as well.
Unbelievable story, and not the only one in this game, of course.
No.
It's also a return to this gym for Day Reeves, who was a part of this squad, such a key part of this squad at Iona as a senior last year. He made first team All-MAAC.
Yep.
Also had 2.1 steals per game last year, which ranked 28th in all of D1.
Yeah, he was top 100 in the nation in scoring, too.
Helped them along to reach the MAAC championship game down in Atlantic City, where they would eventually fall to number 6 Mount St. Mary's, but that was only after they had upset the number 1 seed in the conference in the semifinals in Quinnipiac.
And I'm not sure if the student body remembers this. They're getting up for this game. Day Reeves, during senior day last year, said, I'm coming back next year. He said, I'm coming back. He pulled a Kyrie Irving. But to be fair, they then fired Tobin Anderson, so that's not that abnormal for a guy to hit the portal after their coach is fired. But, you know, students, they don't need to know that. That's all the fuel they need for a rivalry game.
It was just a bit of bad timing at the end of the day, Joe. But either way, I think in a rivalry, you're going to find any way possible for there to be bad blood. We're back underway here in the second half between the Rams and the Gaels. Iona leads 36-33. It's Christian Henry with it for the Fordham Rams. Schulte, Jacobs, Reeves, Henry, and Lesmond out there for Fordham as Reeves misses the floater, fight for the rebound, and it's brought down by C.J. Anthony of the Gaels. Quick moves on the other end for Iona. A lot of passing in the lane, and Lamine Sabali finishes at the rim to make it 38-35, 5-point lead for the Gaels.
They just ran a three-man weave amid 7 other players who were running down the floor to try and play defense.
And going up for the layup and strong with the right hand, it's Day-Day Reeves. No foul, but he does get the 2, and that makes it 38-35. A minute gone here in the second half, 19 to play. Sabali, right wing. Now finds the feed inside for Keyshawn Williams. What a pass by Sabali. And it's a 5-point lead once again for the Gaels, 40-35.
Exposing Fordham on a back cut there on the baseline.
Driving to the right block, it's Christian Henry, and he goes up strong with the right hand. That one is good. Fordham and Iona trading tough buckets here in the start of the second half, and Iona leads 40-37.
Yeah, 4 straight makes inside from both of these teams.
Sabali, top of the key. Gonna move it down to the post and now to the right block. Sabali finds Akametu. Akametu spins on Akira Jacobs, up with the left hand, and that is good. Akametu with the footwork and the finish to make it 42-37.
5 in a row. As many possessions as you'll see maybe all year for Iona not taking a 3-point shot. They're getting the ball inside here.
Christian Henry, top of the key. Waiting for a Schulte screen. He gets it. Now finds Schulte with the float. He finds Schulte on the mini alley-oop to the layup. Schulte was off the ground when he caught that basketball. The 2 is good, and it's 42-39 Iona.
Another example, a great play, and this time good execution.
Into the right corner for Williams. Thought about the 3, but then thinks better of it. Right wing guarded by Lesmond. Now top of the key for Anglin. They get it across to the left wing now for C.J. Anthony. Anthony working on Jacobs. Drives the lane. Sabali is blocked as he went up looking for maybe a dunk. Now in transition, but Christian Henry loses the basketball, and it gets out of bounds. Christian Henry going to high-five his teammates, trying to pick himself up here after one of the first, maybe the only mistake that Christian Henry's made all night.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He's so hardened himself. We saw in the Wagner game where he struggled. He had a fast break opportunity there. He's been playing so well. Just lets the ball trickle away from him off his foot, out of bounds, and he's not happy, but he's a team captain kind of guy. He calls the team together, gets him to huddle up, says, hey, it's my bad.
And Keyshawn Williams from the right side. That's no good on the long 2. Rebound Akira Jacobs. 17:20 to go in the second half. 42-39 Iona. Akira Jacobs, top of the key 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Kozi Akametu. Akametu, other way, left wing. Guarded closely, now top of the key for C.J. Anthony. Thinks about the 3, now gets it to the right block. Back up to the right wing. Keyshawn Williams' 3 is pure. Keyshawn Williams puts Iona up 45-39 with 16:50 to go in the second half.
Biggest lead of the day, Tuck.
Christian Henry gets a double screen from Jacobs and Schulte. He pulls the 3. That's no good. And it's rebounded by C.J. Anthony. Anthony quickly the other way. Drives all the way to the lane. Now has to kick it out. That's a 3 for Akametu. It's no good. Rebounded Christian Anthony. Now he brings it the other way for the Rams. 16:30 to go in the second half. Akira Jacobs all the way into the lane and goes up strong with that right hand. Gets it to go. 45-41 Iona.
Need a stop here. String together stops in the half court.
C.J. Anthony, left wing, guarded by Marcus Green. Now left block guarded by Marcus Green. Moves into the paint, fades away. There's a foul. I believe it's going to be a shooting foul against Marcus Green. And that is going to send C.J. Anthony to the line.
I think you live with that one, Tuck. This guy is very nifty getting inside. He uses his head to draw contact, just nudges his head into the chest of Green, who is playing legal defense. But he draws that contact, immediately goes up with it. That's the reason for the foul. I think Fordham has to live with that.
C.J. Anthony at the line for 2. He's 2 of 2 tonight, with 7 points on 2 of 3 shooting from the floor, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. This is the first, so it stays 45-41. Anthony spent 4 years at Cincinnati.
Was a walk-on originally.
Yeah, never really got that much time, and then was redshirted his senior year to give him a chance to enter the transfer portal and find a home where he'd get more minutes. He certainly found it here at Iona as he makes the second, goes 1 for 2, and makes it a 5-point lead once again, 46-41. And there's an off-ball foul, I believe is an off-ball foul, called on the other end against the Fordham Rams. Mike Magpie was not happy about it.
He is livid. I don't even see what this foul could have been. It wasn't with the ball handler. I was looking in the paint when it happened. I didn't see anything happen in the paint. I'm waiting to see what player they're even going to rule it against. Didn't seem to be a violation, like not a 3-second violation. We were very early in the shot clock there. I don't think it was a 10-second. They got it up in time. I really am having trouble discerning what this could have been. We need Brendan Shorey here.
We need Brendan Shorey to sniff out what just happened on the floor in front of us, but Mike Magpie still pleading his case with the referee on the opposite side of the floor. He's kind of carrying him all the way out to center court now as Magpie heads back towards the huddle. Clearly he was very unhappy with how that went down. I believe Fordham had to take a timeout after that as well. So they're down to 3 timeouts remaining. Iona also with 3 timeouts left in the game. But Fordham, again, 2 fouls already here in the second half. Meanwhile, Iona has not been whistled yet in this half. So Fordham again at a disadvantage when it comes to looking down the line at the bonus.
Yeah, they credit it to a boss Bottiges. There's a turnover on the official stat line, but I think they were going for a foul. I don't think it could have possibly been 3 in the key. He was in the paint when this happened. It looks like he was defending a guy who was about to come up to set a screen. Really flummoxed by what this might be. Regardless, this is a huge moment for Fordham. Not let the game get out of hand. It was a 6-point game. You get a bucket. That's good. Akira Jacobs doing it himself. Early shot clock. You give up another bucket. Now you have a play like this that could be an inflection point. It's frustrating. It's confusing even for us. You don't really know exactly what happened. Does your team during this huddle get down on itself? Is the body language negative? Are you frustrated about some of these calls this half so far? Or do you rally around it and make a comeback effort?
And you know, Joe, a comeback wouldn't even be necessary at this point in the game if Fordham's 3-point shooting was anywhere close to where Mike Magpie would like it to be. He told us pregame that he expects the shooting to come around for this team as the season goes on and sort of, rather than regress to the mean, sort of a progression to the mean. But, Joe, it is much more difficult to progress to the mean than to regress back to the mean. Fordham 3 for 19 from 3 tonight. The struggles continue from beyond the arc.
Like, it's becoming more than just an early season trend where you're like, oh, that's odd. It's becoming like, is this what this team is? 3 for 19, 1 for your last 14 from 3. You're not making threes in the big situations either. You don't make a 3 when you need to make a 3. This has been the story all season long. 21.1% as a team from 3. That's bottom 30 in the nation. By the way, Fordham full court pressing out of the break, first time all day.
Keyshawn Williams has it. He pulls from the left side near the free throw line, and he gets it to go. Waited for a moment on top of the rim, rolled around the bucket, and fell. 7-point lead for the Gaels, 48-41. 15 and a half minutes to go here in the second half of play. Right corner, it's Marcus Green. Right corner 3 is good. Marcus Green connects, and Fordham with a much-needed 3-point bucket. It's 48-44.
Only 4 minutes played all game for Marcus Green. His first shot attempt of the game, it's a huge 3.
Toby Harris, he's going to pull for 3 from the right side. That's no good. Rebounded by Bottiges. He gets it to Christian Henry, who's going to slow things down. Henry's been directing traffic most of the night for the Fordham Rams in his first start here at Fordham. He pulls for 2, short from the right side and no good. Toby Harris the rebound.
Don't love it. Only got to touch the ball all possession.
Toby Harris still has it, right side, guarded by Roracor. Now into the corner, and he's trapped. Does get it free, and now back to him, and Toby Harris throws it down. He shows off the hops. And I believe, what's the call there? I think they just called a foul against Christian Henry because Christian Henry looks pretty baffled over there. The referee showed a 3 and a 0 on the hands. Unless it's a foul of some sort after the play against, so it's not. It's a foul against the Fordham Rams, so it's against Henry.
I guess he was saying who the basket was for. Toby Harris, number 30 on the Iona side. There's another example there of Roracor being a little absent-minded on defense, allows a back cut on a give and go from Harris. That's what happened on that last play.
Into the right corner, it's Marcus Green trying again from that same spot, no good. Bottiges the rebound. He finds Green again, right wing. He drives down to the right block. Now he's going to pull. And it's good. Marcus Green with a short 2 from just outside the right block. And it's 50-46 Iona.
And Lamine Savali taking a little shove there from Rika Schulte. Watch out.
Things could get much more physical in this game as Toby Harris pulls from the right corner and he drills the 3 to re-extend the lead to 7. And Coach Magpaio calls timeout. 53-46. The Iona Gaels with a vengeance out of the locker rooms at halftime with one of their biggest leads of the evening with 13:54 to go in the second half.
I just can't, for the life of me, I can't believe that Toby Harris sat in D3 for 3 years. A 6'8" pure shooter. Gets the ball, high release, looks like Sam Hauser out there. Just throws it up and in. Looks like an NBA JJ Redick, a guy who comes in who's just, you know your role. You're going to get the ball, you're going to shoot a quick release, and it's going to go in 40+% of the time. 40% plus from 3 for 3 straight years at D3 at a super high volume, and no D1 team wanted him until this year. That's crazy to me.
It's kind of hard to believe, Joe, especially like you just keep looking at his stats and it just keeps getting more unbelievable, or maybe less believable, I should say.
Now at the D1 level, through 2 games at least, Iona's offense has been, by offensive rating, its very best with Toby Harris on the floor. He's not even starting.
Yeah. Harris went 6 for 9 from beyond the arc against the University of Missouri, Kansas City. That was Iona's last opponent on November 11th. He scored 20 points in just 19 minutes of game time, picked up a couple of rebounds and assists and a block, 7 for 10 from the floor. He scored more than 1,100 points at Brandeis at the D3 level, and that's missing a full season as a junior. He only played 3 games in his 3rd year at Brandeis and still managed more than 1,100 points.
Yeah, Mike Magpaio would call this guy a driller. A guy who just comes off the bench and snipes from downtown. That's what he's been. He's been the impact guy for this Iona team on this run.
And the fans in attendance here, the Iona supporters, have been getting so loud throughout this game. At the end of that last play when Fordham called timeout, they got deafeningly loud. Probably for those free t-shirts, but we're just about ready to restart play here. 13:54 to go in the second half. Iona leads the Fordham Rams 53-46 as Coach Magpaio is trying to guide his Fordham Rams team through their first road test, both of the season and of his career as the head coach at Fordham University.
It's a huge possession here. You got to think Day-Day Reeves getting into 2-man action with the Boss Botija. Those are the 2 guys that you trust to get a bucket when you really need one here.
Inbound from Jacobs to Day-Day Reeves. Reeves against his former team from last season. Reeves waits for a screen from Botija. Now fires into the right corner for Jacobs. Now back up top for Day-Day Reeves. Reeves works inside. It's a short 2 from the right side, and he gets it to go. Maybe an 8-footer for Reeves that time, and it's 53-48 Iona. Drive all the way into the lane. That time for C.J. Anthony, and he's fouled as he goes up for it. Fordham going to send C.J. Anthony to the line once again.
And Anthony's been a problem for Fordham. Even if he's not lighting up the stats, he's got 8 points, 2 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals.
Certainly
so
filling it up if he's not lighting it up.
Maybe not taking a ton of shots, but this is a guy we talked about. It started as a walk-on in Cincinnati. Finally gets an opportunity to really be something here at Iona. Dropped 24 in the opener against Hofstra. A little welcome to the NAAC. In your first game, you win MAC Player of the Week in Week 1. That's C.J. Anthony.
Great stuff out of him. He got the start in his first game with Iona. They certainly believe in him very heavily as he misses the second of 2. 54-48 is the lead for the Gaels now. 13:20 to go in the second half. Day-Day Reeves has it for the Rams. Reeves gets it up top for Abbas Botija. Botija's 3 is no good. Another missed 3 for the Fordham Rams. And Iona will transition once again.
I want to say it's his second 3-point attempt all season, Tuck.
Akamedu into the lane is no good. A lot of contact, but no call, and Fordham gets the rebound. Day-Day Reeves Working inside, fires it into the corner. Akira Jacobs, left corner three is no good after a high bounce. Rebound, Lesmond. He goes up with the right hand and gets it to go. Louis Lesmond getting on the scoreboard for the Rams. It is 54-50 Iona.
That's the kind of thing, a guy riding the struggle bus. You get that one make off an offensive rebound. That can propel you. They need that out of a guy who's in the closing lineup for Fordham.
He was 0 for 4 from the floor before that, and that was his first make. But now the other end, the answer, it's C.J. Anthony once again. Still filling it up for the Iona Gaels, and it's 56-50. And now a drive inside for Day Reeves. He's fouled as he goes up with the left hand, no good. Reeves will go to the line for 2 with Fordham down by 6.
On the other end, what makes Anthony so difficult to guard is Reeves had a tough time. He's a good defender, Day Reeves. Anthony on one possession gets a rebound and sprints 94 feet. Does not stop sprinting until he hears the whistle blow on a foul. Sprints, gets out to the free throw, or gets to get a trip to the free throw line. It's 1 of 2. And then the next possession, he starts sprinting and then he slows down to a crawl. He gets Day Reeves on his back. And then he speeds back up again, blasts right by him for 2.
Reeves makes his first free throw.
For Reeves, he's really struggled in the interior game. That's been a huge strength of him in years prior. 96th percentile in field goal attempts at the rim last year. He hit a 65% clip. So far this year, he's only taken 1 free throw on the season up till today, and he was only shooting 36% at the rim.
And he makes the second of 2. 4 for 4 on the evening now for Day Reeves against his former team. 56-52 is the lead for Iona with just over 12 minutes to go here in the second half. Akametu with it. On the right wing, guarded by Pettis. Now by Lesmond. All the way down to the right block. Fadeaway jumper for Akametu is no good. Rising high above everyone else for the rebound was Day Reeves. Reeves, top of the key. Dribble with the right hand. Now fires it to the left wing. Louis Lesmond. He hits. Lesmond with a big 3 to end a 1 for 17 from beyond the arc for the Rams. And it's a 1-point game, 56-55 Gaels. Steal by Day Reeves. Here he goes the other way. One man to beat, and he does with the left hand. Day Reeves gives Fordham the lead, 57-56.
What a run, Tuck. And it starts, you just got to see one go in, right? Louis Lesmond, offensive rebound, put one back in, then a huge momentum 3, and Day Reeves, a menace on the ball, as we talked about.
And the crowd understands the importance of the next possession here. Chance of defense here in the building while Iona's on offense. The Fordham faithful in the building getting a little loud as a timeout comes out from the Gaels. 11-12 to go in the second half, and Fordham, out of nowhere, Joe, finds themselves back up by 1.
Say out of nowhere. I mean, you mean it literally. 7-0 run in 57 seconds. A burst, a split second, and all of a sudden your team's in the lead after losing this entire second half.
They came out slow out of the locker rooms, but now, almost halfway through the second half, Fordham has clawed and scratched all the way back to that lead that they had all the way back in that first half. 57-56, the Fordham Rams lead the Iona Gaels here at the Hynes Center. And now we go to the one-on-one scoreboard update. Here is Izzy Randazzo.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Let's switch it up and talk football, shall we? Thursday Night Football was a disappointing one for New York fans. The Patriots beat the Jets 27-14, extending New England's win streak to 8 games. Drake May was efficient, throwing for 281 yards and a touchdown, while rookie Travion Henderson dominated with 3 total touchdowns, 2 rushing and 1 receiving, plus 93 yards from scrimmage. Stephon Diggs added 105 receiving yards. The Jets actually struck first with a long opening drive capped by a Justin Fields rushing TD, and Fields later added a 22-yard passing touchdown, but the offense stalled for most of the second quarter. New England controlled the game after halftime, and 2 late field goals sealed the win. The Patriots improved to 9-2, while the Jets fell to 2-8. This Sunday features several standout matchups across the league. The Bills face the Buccaneers in a battle of 6-3 teams, with Josh Allen under pressure to elevate a Bills offense that struggled last week. Over in the NFC West, the Seahawks and Rams meet in a heavyweight showdown as both teams sit near the top of the division. The weekend closes with a marquee primetime matchup as the Lions take on the Eagles, pairing Detroit's explosive offense against Philadelphia's tough, disciplined defense. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Izzy Randazzo.
And we welcome you back inside the Hynes Center in New Rochelle, New York, the home of the Iona Gaels, where the Fordham Rams, after a slow start to the second half of play, find themselves in the lead 57-56 with 11:12 to go. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. Thanks very much to Izzy Randazzo for that scoreboard update. Joe, what a run by that Fordham squad to get back into this. Great to see Louis Lesmond get on the scoreboard. It could be huge for Fordham if they can look to him for scoring down the stretch.
Absolutely. The two guys with the lowest usage rate on the entire team, Louis Lesmond and Marcus Green, come in and hit threes when the team needed it the absolute most. How about some balance from a Fordham offense that it feels like whenever there's 5 guys on the floor, it's like, all right, 2 of these guys I kind of trust with the ball in their hands at the end of possession, the rest I don't. Get these guys into a rhythm here. That's what we're seeing.
An inbound here to Toby Harris in the left corner as he's going to go to the rim, but he's no good. Good defense by Akira Jacobs. Ball's tipped away, and it's Fordham's ball. Last touch by Toby Harris. Good defense by Akira Jacobs and by Louis Lesmond out of the timeout.
Huge minutes here. And to see Akira Jacobs, who's grown leaps and bounds from games 1 and 2 to 3 and 4 defensively, have his hands on another big stop.
Pettis, and now it's Day Reeves. Notably, Christian Henry has been absent for a majority of the second half so far. Day Reeves works inside. Now it's tipped away from Pettis, but Pettis gets it back. Now Akira Jacobs reaching for it as the ball was tipped close to the rim there. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Day needs to go up with it, and he does. And he gets his own rebound after the miss, and he puts it through. Day Reeves, a strong play on the offensive end.
That's your get-out-of-jail-free card if you're Day Reeves.
59-56 Fordham, 10:25 to go in the second half. C.J. Anthony has and he slows things down. Guarded by Jacobs. Now into the left corner. And he steps on the line.
Wow.
Khalil Badrou with his foot on the line when he received the pass. A huge turnover, and Fordham with a chance to build even more on this three-point lead.
Christian Henry is the happiest guy in the building. He stood up and started jumping around cheering because he stepped on the sideline this exact time in the game against Wagner, and it was a killer for Fordham. He knows what that feels like, and he's very glad to see it happen against Iona.
Abbas Bodija takes a seat in favor of Rikas Schulte. Schulte's a rebound away from a double-double at 10 points and 9 boards.
It feels like he's having an off game. He's still about to have a double-double.
I'm sure if you asked him, he would say he's having an off game as well. He's one of many guys on this Fordham team who just is so hard on themselves, but that just makes them so much better. Day Reeves with it for the Rams across the Iona Gaels logo at center court. Fordham moving right to left. Iona moving left to right now. Reeves past the three-point line now, back up top for Louis Lesmond. Lesmond into the corner, and now it's Reeves. Reeves guarded by Badrou. Reeves at the free throw line. He pulls for 2. That's no good. Rebounded by Matt Reed. Not a terrible take from Day Reeves, but just couldn't get it to go.
Just wasn't in rhythm.
9:45 to go in the second half. 59-56, the Fordham Rams with the lead. Right corner for Lamine Sabali. Sabali works into the paint and finds the floater. Working around Rikas Schulte, who didn't get the contest there, and it's a one-point game, 59-58.
He just ran right around an inadvertent screen set by Matt Reed on the low block there. Was able to get some space from that.
Christian Henry sitting by the scorer's table now, getting ready to check into the next stoppage. Rikas Schulte, pass inside for Reeves, and the right-handed layup is good. Day Reeves really starting to explode here in the second half, 61-58 Fordham.
I mean, he is taking over. There's no coincidence that as soon as he takes over point guard duties, Fordham goes on this run.
18 points in the game now for Day Reeves against his former team. And there's a block on the other end by Ryan Pettis, a tough block as well. And now there's chippiness. Now players getting in front of each other's faces. The referees will break things up. Ryan Pettis looks like he's almost complaining about it as an Iona player seemingly wanted a piece of Pettis. That's the first flare-up in this game, the first real flare-up in this game between these two old rivals. And Joe, I have a feeling that's not going to be the last.
You gotta love Ryan Pettis' toughness. I mean, this guy got a yellow card in the first half for slide tackling, and now he gets in on an emphatic block. Iona's not happy about it. I love this tuck.
A huge rejection against C.J. Anthony, who's been playing a great game for Iona. Anthony trying to inbound it with Pettis in his face, and he fires it all the way into the backcourt for Keyshawn Williams. It's a launch of a pass, went 3/4 the distance of the court. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Williams forced to fire from the right wing. It's no good. Rebounded by Pettis. Pettis gives it off for Christian Henry, who's now going to redirect the offense for the Fordham Rams.
A chance for Fordham's biggest lead of the second half.
61-58, the Rams lead. 8.5 minutes to go in the second half. Schulte with it, top of the key. Gets it to Day Reeves. Reeves works inside, spins off his man. Ryan Pettis, left wing three, is good! Ryan Pettis! The huge defensive play on one end. Now he drills a three on the other, and it's 64-58 Fordham.
It's his first three of the season, Tuck.
6-point lead for the Rams, 8 minutes to go in the second half. CJ Anthony with it. Pettis trying to get his hand in there, but he can't. Anthony maintains possession, guarded by Schulte and Henry. He gets it off for Badru. Badru, left block, now through the paint, goes up with the floater, and that's good over the outstretched arm of Akira Jacobs. Excellent shot by Khalil Badru that time. 64-60 Fordham.
Badru's fantastic. M East all-rookie team at UNH. He was a starter as a true freshman last year. Great find.
Akira Jacobs tries to find Schulte on the right block underneath, but he's fouled. Believe that's going to come against Denver Anglin. That's going to bring up a timeout on the floor. As I believe the Fordham Rams took their second of 4 timeouts.
Important time to check in on the foul column as well. Obviously, Fordham had the foul trouble in the first half. They committed 7 fouls in the game's first 9 minutes, and they didn't commit another foul for the rest of the entire first half. Huge aversion of disaster, letting Iona get to the stripe for a lot of free throws in the bonus. Didn't happen first half. Now Fordham's got 4 fouls so far with 7:36 to go, about on pace what you'd expect. That's a number to watch for as Iona nears the bonus, and Iona's only committed 2 fouls the entire period, which is kind of crazy to believe, but they pick up their second there. It's important.
Fordham with 3 players in double digits in scoring now. Day Reeves with 20, Christian Henry with 13, Enrique Schulte with 10. 64-60, the Fordham Rams lead the Iona Gaels with 7:36 to go here in the second half. We're going to step away for a quick break, but we'll be right back with more Fordham men's basketball on 90.7 FM WFUV Sports. What's up, everybody? It's Tucker Austin, one of WFUV Sports' New York Yankees beat reporters in 2025. Aaron Judge and company are hungry to return to the Fall Classic to avenge their defeat last season. Follow me on X at @T_Austin_24 for live game updates, video recaps, and more as the Bronx Bombers chase their 28th World Series championship. WFUV Sports is your home for everything New York Yankees. We welcome you back inside the Hynes Athletics Center in New Rochelle, New York, on the campus of Iona University. Friday night men's college hoops for you on WFUV Sports in 90.7 FM. The Fordham Rams leading the Iona Gaels 64-60. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. We're getting into the late stages of the second half here, Joe, and at the start of this half, it looked like Iona might have been pulling away in this one, but Fordham, with the resiliency, fighting all the way back into it. It's going to be an inbound play from Christian Henry here as he finds Marcus Green. Now Henry again up top, standing on the eye of the Iona logo at center court. Now Pettis back up top for Henry. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Into the left corner for Akira Jacobs. He finds Ryan Pettis. Now left corner for Christian Henry. He has to pull. It's no good. Does not hit the rim. So it's a shot clock violation against the Fordham Rams.
Ugly,
kind of a tough shot there at the end for Christian Henry.
It's ugly. Huge couple minutes here with Day Reeves getting a breather. That's not a good way to start out of a timeout. The play you draw stalls out, and you end up having to take a contested corner three where you try to lean into a guy to draw a foul with 1 left on the shot clock. Not good.
CJ Anthony works inside and misses the long 2.
Absolutely live with that, though.
Ryan Pettis going to bring it up for the Rams now. Pettis on the left wing works around a Schulte screen, and he travels. Pettis couldn't quite stop the momentum at the free throw line and just falls forward a little bit before he can get rid of the basketball.
Yeah, just indecisive. Is not a guy who's had the ball in his hands as a playmaker a whole ton in his collegiate career so far, so those are the kind of mistakes you can expect, especially late in the game.
Pettis has been so tenacious this game, though, pretty much all night. Certainly not happy with himself after the mistake there.
Yeah, when he's in the game, you know that Mike Magpie is looking for defense. That's what he says. When I want defense, I go to Ryan.
64-60 the lead for the Fordham Rams. 6:40 to go in the second half. Inside for Sabali. His layup is no good, but there's a late foul call. Believe it's going to come against Rika Schulte.
Yep.
As Sabali hit the deck after the layup attempt, and I don't really know if he had to, Joe.
That was a late call. That was if it goes in, I'll swallow my whistle. If it rims out as it did, I'll blow the whistle. I'll give him a couple free throws.
So Lamine Sabali, 1 for 2 at the line tonight, 3 for 7 from the floor, 7.7 boards and 6 assists. For the man who does get a majority of the assists for this Gaels team. Louis Lesmond checks in as Ryan Pettis takes a seat. Sabali missed the first of 2, and so now he takes the second. And he misses both. Fight for the rebound, though, and Iona has it. Finds Keyshawn Williams on the right wing. Williams moving through the paint. He pulls up. It's no good. Rebound, Christian Henry. Fordham gets a little bit bailed out that time after the offensive rebound by Iona on the free throws.
Man, to take a contested step-back mid-ranger off of an offensive rebound, I think Fordham is totally fine with that shot selection.
6:12 to go in the second half. Fordham protecting a 4-point lead. Christian Henry gets it across for Marcus Green. Green on the right wing, trying to work with Schulte. Now has to get it back to Henry. Henry drives down to the left block, goes up with the right hand at the shot clock, but it's no good. Mike Magpie wants a reset on the shot clock, but I believe it's a violation.
They called a violation. That ball hit the rim.
Well, it looked like Henry's shot got to the rim. I just don't know if the ball got there before the clock.
It doesn't matter.
If the shot got off in time, indeed it doesn't.
It definitely did.
So Coach Magpie, right to be as annoyed with that call as he is, but he goes right back to stone cold over there on the sideline as Fordham still has a job to do. Driving into the lane and blocked by Schulte. Sabali tried with the left hand, but Rika Schulte says no.
Some huge stops lately from Schulte.
Into the lane, Christian Henry, he's fouled. He wasn't trying to shoot, though, trying to get the ball kicked out to the three-point line. Fordham will take it underneath. Still so much more contact late in this game, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
It's been getting more and more physical as time has gone on.
Love it.
Inbound from Henry. The handoff back to Henry from Jacobs. It's no good on the three from the right corner. Offensive rebound by Jacobs, though, and now Day Reeves has it for the Rams. 5:24 rather to go here in the second half. Reeves trying to work inside. He doesn't have room. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Reeves around the back. Now fires the three. That's no good. A fight for the rebounds, tipped out of bounds by Akira Jacobs, and it'll be Iona's ball.
Absolutely, I want Data Reeves to have the ball in that situation, and if he has to use the whole shot clock, so be it. But you'd like to see him get inside the perimeter there. That's been his bread and butter all game. He's been money driving inside, whether he's dishing it off or finishing himself or even getting to the line. He didn't step inside the perimeter that entire possession.
He's been solid from the mid-range as well, Joe. Really anywhere inside the three-point line, he's been good, and they're going to call an offensive foul here. C.J. Edwards hit the reverse layup, but the foul call comes out before the drive, and it's a turnover by Iona.
A legal screen there from Toby Harris. Really the first weakness we've seen from Harris all game.
Iona scoreless in the last 2:42 of game time. Fordham scoreless in the last 3:12.
Who's going to break the stalemate?
Christian Henry has it. Top of the key. Guarded by Keyshawn Williams. Tries to get it inside for Schulte, but it's stolen away by Sabali. Sabali finds Williams. Williams loses the ball, but they call a foul.
Wow.
On what looked to be minimal contact, a foul comes out. I believe this one might be shooting as well, as it looked like he was taking his gather towards the rim. And he's standing at the free throw line.
I can't believe that this is a shooting foul. This is 2 shots. This isn't a 1-and-1. This is 2 shots. Louis Lesmond, Williams was looking to pass. He was not going up for a shot there. He could have taken an open layup, but clearly he was not trying to do that. 2, Louis Lesmond got all ball there. Wasn't legal guarding position, but he came over. He didn't make any body contact. He just poked his hand in and poked the ball away. That was all ball.
First free throw of the night for Keyshawn Williams goes. And that finally breaks that more than 3-minute scoring drought for both teams, and it's a 3-point game.
Yep.
Second free throw is good, and it's a 2-point game now. 64-62, Fordham with the lead, and now the Rams need a score. Henry with it. Top of the key. Screen by Schulte. Now Schulte has it. Top of the key right side, and there's an offensive foul drawn by C.J. Anthony against. Couldn't quite tell
Christian
who they
Henry.
Called that against. I think it was Christian Henry.
Off-ball screen from Christian Henry. He kind of knew it as he said it, and then he was like, no, you're not calling that. He kind of just shoved out his forearms a little bit to draw some contact. Nothing egregious, but that's bad timing.
And with how much contact there's been in this game, how much physicality, it's really surprising to see the whistles come out this late. And so it's a lob inside to Sabali. My goodness, C.J. Edwards finds Lamine Sabali on the alley-oop, and we're tied at 64. Another huge slam and big momentum shift for the Gaels.
Gotta quiet him down.
Schulte backing down his defender in the paint, and they're going to call the charge against Schulte. Just nothing going Fordham's way here late.
C.J. Anthony revving up this Iona crowd, which is as loud as it's been all day long. The refs had to step in between Fordham players and Iona players. None of them were jawing at each other, but just a precaution. Hey, just in case, because that's the way that things have been trending. And as you said, Tuck, the momentum squarely in Iona's favor. Similar to Fordham's run, it's out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, the momentum fully in their favor, and just your own mistakes, right? The ticky-tack foul on Lesmond, but then an off-ball foul on Henry, an offensive foul on Schulte. Unnecessary. Schulte's the bigger player there. He doesn't need to be overly physical. It's going to allow a guy like C.J. Anthony, who's been wearing his heart in his sleeve all day, to rev up this crowd, and now you have a whole other level of home court advantage.
Both these teams getting really amped down the stretch, maybe bringing out a bit too much of the physicality. Could be why Schulte drew the charge instead of the shooting foul. But at 64 all with 3:57 to go here in the second half, we got a good one on our hands, Joe, but we're going to send it back to the Rose Hill studio one more time during the game for a one-on-one scoreboard update. Here's Izzy Randazzo.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Big things are happening for the teams and players in the NBA. We're entering the 3rd week of the NBA Cup, and the matchups tonight are going to be absolutely electric across the nation. The Knicks are hoping to bounce back from Wednesday's loss against the Magic as the Miami Heat turn up the temperature at Madison Square Garden. With Jalen Brunson out due to an ankle injury, this game will be a captivating one to watch. The score is currently 78-71 in the half, with the Knicks leading and Karl-Anthony Towns endeavoring to get the Knicks back on track. The Brooklyn Nets are facing off against the Orlando Magic, with season leaders Michael Porter Jr. and Paolo Banchero fighting to grab their team a W. The live score of that game is 61-58 in the half, with Michael Porter Jr. leading in points for the Nets and Franz Wagner working some magic for Orlando. The Philadelphia 76ers are on the Detroit Pistons court, hoping to come out victorious and gain their first NBA Cup win, with a current score of 57-50 as the Pistons lead. The formidable Houston Rockets are currently facing the Portland Trail Blazers. Can Kevin Durant and his squad maintain their lead and blast past the Blazers? The league standings are shifting, and teams are as motivated as ever to make it to the top. The Pistons lead the Eastern Conference with 10 wins and 2 losses, while OKC remains dominant at the top in the West. It's a great night for some basketball, and the season has only just begun. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Izzy Randazzo.
Welcome back inside the Hynes Athletic Center here in New Rochelle, New York, on the campus of Iona University. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you as the Iona Gaels and the Fordham Rams renewing their rivalry from almost 20 years ago are tied at 64 with under 4 to play. Iona's ball, C.J. Anthony with it. Drives through the lane and goes up with the left hand. It's good. Iona retakes the lead after Fordham led this game for more than 5 minutes in this second half. The last 5 minutes, that is, but now Fordham down by 2. Schulte has it. And it's tipped away. Schulte trying to box out his man. It's going to stay with the Fordham Rams here.
12 on the shot clock, Tuck. A lot of time taken there.
It's getting to a point in the game where every empty possession feels like another nail in the coffin.
Yep.
Still a very close game, but every point feels so precious at a point in a game as tight as this.
Scoreless for 5 straight minutes.
Schulte, handoff for Day Reeves. Reeves, the leading scorer for the Rams. Reeves to the free throw line. There's a foul before the pass. It's going to be on the floor. Believe that one's coming against C.J. Anthony. It'll be Anthony's first personal of the night. Inbound underneath for Christian Henry and the Rams. 20 seconds on the shot clock now. Henry looking for an option. Leaves it off for Day Reeves. Reeves guarded by Anthony. Reeves moves Anthony off of him, pulls for the mid-range. That's no good. And Sabali with the rebound over Rika Schulte. Iona with it. 3 minutes to go. C.J. Anthony.
Need a stop.
Need a stop in the worst way, do the Fordham Rams. C.J. Anthony starts to drive on Reeves, but now thinks a second time about it. Now goes to the opposite side. Puts up the floater with the right hand. C.J. Anthony, as cool and calm as you like. Right through the paint and throws up the teardrop like it's nothing and gives Iona a 4-point lead.
He started to drive left, was shielded off. He said, all right, I'm just going to walk back to the perimeter, and I'm going to go to my right, and then I'm going to hit a floater. Doesn't matter where on the floor this guy is. He's taken over this game in the same way that Day Reeves took the game over 10 minutes ago. Reeves, it's your turn to counter-respond if Fordham wants to win this game.
Coach Magpio calls his third of 4 timeouts. Fordham down to just 1 remaining. Meanwhile, Fordham's also up to 8 fouls now in the half against Iona's 5. So trailing in the game and trailing in the fouls comparison. Fordham not in a particularly strong position late in this game, but it is still a 4-point game. And with the runs we've seen in this one, this game could turn on its head in less than 30 seconds.
No doubt. And that last Fordham run about 10 minutes of game time ago was engineered by a steal and a score. That's what got the momentum in your favor. So now with your team having not scored for 5 minutes and 37 seconds, and your team having only forced 7 turnovers against an Iona team that turns the ball over more than most teams in the country, at least so far this season, what you badly need, one is a stop, or one is a score on this possession, and then a turnover, and then another score. Flip the momentum square on its head again.
Christian Henry has it for Fordham. Now Akira Jacobs. Enrique Schulte now for Day Reeves. Reeves, handoff play for Henry. Fordham cycling, and Christian Henry floats one up inside the paint with the right hand. It's 68-66 Iona.
It's a great play call. Get Henry curling off the screen. He gets the ball moving towards his dominant hand, so he's driving towards the right side. He gets an open look at a floater. Perfect.
C.J. Anthony with it. Right wing, he's going to pull that 3, and he hits. C.J. Anthony is unconscious. 71-66 Iona, 2 minutes to play. Christian Henry with it. Now Rika Schulte. Schulte, Louis Lesmond. Lesmond, right corner. Akira Jacobs, a 3. That's no good. A little strong, and it's rebounded by Iona.
Wow.
1:45 to go here in the second half. Fordham trails by 5. Iona in complete control now late. C.J. Anthony into the paint. He fades away. That's no good. Air ball rebounded by Schulte. Day Reeves now for the Rams. He's going to drive hard into the lane.
Wow.
And he draws the blocking foul. Mike Magpio wants the shooting foul, but they're going to call it on the floor.
There's a lot at play here.
A lot going on that play. Really looked like Day Reeves was starting to charge into the lane to go up for the layup, but the contact came before he even had an opportunity to shoot.
That might be in the dictionary. If the dictionary had a video component, next to the word charge would probably be that play in which Day Reeves extends his forearm to barrel over a guy. Yet it's called a blocking foul. That's one half of the story. Then Reeves takes another step and banks in a really difficult two. And now the Fordham bench is just as upset as the Iona bench because they want a three-point play.
Everybody's upset, Joe.
Can't make anyone happy these days.
I'm a little upset, too. You look at the Rikus Schulte contact that wound up being a charge against him, which was honestly much lighter than what we just witnessed from Day Reeves. But this call is suddenly a block. And in the first half, there were minimal whistles. Start of the second half, minimal whistles. Ever since 10 minutes left in the second half, it's felt like there's been a whistle every other possession.
That's a makeup call gone wrong. All right, well, it's been a little difficult these past few minutes. Day Reeves getting the benefit of the doubt. We'll call it a block foul. Oh, no, he made the shot. Uh-oh. No, we can't give him the shot. We got to compromise here. Just a blocking foul. I think that's what they're deciding, too.
Plenty of reactions in this game from both squads, from the officials, from the head coaches. So much energy. This building, the Hynes Athletic Center tonight, has really been an electric factory all night. Even between timeouts, at halftime they had youth teams playing. They hit a buzzer beater. The place went nuts. But an inbound here to Day Reeves from Christian Henry as we restart play. 1:25 to go in the second half. It's a 5-point deficit for the Rams. Left wing, Christian Henry steps back. The three, no good. Rebound to Akira Jacobs. Goes up with the right hand and a little bit of English and gets it to go. 71-68. 3-point deficit for the Rams.
One possession game.
One possession game. Clock will tick under a minute to go in the second half. This one coming down to the wire. First game between Iona and Fordham in men's basketball in almost 2 decades. CJ Anthony, left wing, finds Sabali. Now back to Anthony. Anthony tries to drive, gets it to Sabali on the alley-oop for the lay. Sabali gets it to go, 73-68. Fordham now under pressure. 40 seconds to go in the game. 5-point deficit to erase. Christian Henry tries to drive the lane, and he does. Up with the left hand, it's no good. He's fouled, though. So Christian Henry will go to the line for 2 with 34.2 remaining.
Badly needed that. That was another instance of if that one goes in, I'm going to swallow my whistle. If it doesn't, then we're going to give him 2 free throws. Wait a second until that ball rims out, and now Henry's going to have a huge 2 free throws to keep Fordham alive. And how about Anthony's growth? To be the only guy touching the ball for Iona in the last 6 straight possessions. He shoots it on the first 5, but on that 5th try, it's a block. It's a really poor shot attempt. So he adjusts, and he makes the right feed to Sabali for a huge bucket for Iona.
So much noise from this packed house here at Iona. A blackout in the building for the students in attendance. As really Christian Henry, biggest crowd pop of the night, I'd say, on that missed free throw. Second one from Henry is good. 73-69 now. Iona with the lead. Fordham going to run the full court press here. Marcus Green takes a seat. Out there for the Rams, it's Jacobs, Pettis, Reeves, Schulte, and Christian Henry.
So you're going for either a 10-second violation or a steal, and then once they're in the half court, you have to foul.
Pettis has Edwards trapped, and it looks like Pettis may have taken an elbow.
He got elbowed in the face, and they're going to review it.
They're going to take a look at this one for flagrant. Yeah.
Wow.
That is a huge play. Wow. Ryan Pettis putting his body on the line for the Fordham Rams here after playing a really tough physical game all night. Perhaps took a shot to the face there. We had a tough angle over here, but it looked like CJ Anthony was trying to break out of that trap in the corner. It was Pettis and Akira Jacobs around him in the right corner on his own end. He couldn't get free, and then Pettis hit the floor.
You wouldn't believe, Tucker, this is the 2nd straight game this exact thing has happened with Ryan Pettis. Last game he was trying to run off the screen, he just got decked, went to the floor, hit to the face, was down on the floor. For a while they had to review it for a flagrant. Last time they didn't call it a flagrant foul, but if they do this time, it could be huge.
The referees are explaining some things to the TV crew just to our right as they continue to take a look at the monitor opposite us, Joe. Really unfortunate turn of events in the final 5 minutes so far of the second half for the Fordham Rams, who found themselves in the lead by as many as 5 points in the second half, but now trailing by 4 and awaiting a flagrant foul call that could save
It's
the
a
Rams'
game
life in this
changer,
game.
to say the least. It gives you 2 free throws and possession of the ball after those free throws. I mean, flips this game on its head entirely.
Pettis is up to 4 fouls now, although with 31.3 to go, it shouldn't matter. Sabali also with 4 fouls for Iona. Nobody else really in foul trouble for either of these teams. Iona, though, is up to 7 fouls now. Fordham still at 8. They've been sitting at 8 for a minute. The referees seem to be explaining some things to Iona head coach Dan Giroux. And they're going to clap them back to play here. I believe, looks like they're setting up under the basket on the other end.
Yep, that's a flagrant.
So that is going to be called a flagrant foul. A flagrant against CJ Anthony. So Ryan Pettis now, because he took the contact, believe he has to. Or CJ Anthony's taking free throws? Now this is.
Oh, they called a foul on
They called
Ryan
a
Pettis.
foul against Ryan Pettis on that one. What an interesting
Oh my goodness.
turnaround. We were sitting here, Joe, we thought a flagrant was coming out.
I
And now
thought that-
Ryan Pettis, who took the contact, is the one who's called for the foul.
I thought that our sports director, Bobby Chaffordini, accidentally said that Ryan Pettis committed that foul. No, they're actually charging this to Ryan Pettis.
Anthony makes the first free throw. That's essentially, it's almost a dagger in this game. It's his 19th point of the night. He's shooting a free throw to try and get to 20 here. As it's 74-69 Iona. It's a 5-point lead. Second free throw is good. Makes them both. 6 for 8 from the line on the night and 20 points for CJ Anthony. Right wing for Day Reeves. Day Reeves drives the lane. He goes up with the right hand, and it's good. Timeout by Mike Magpaio. As now it is 75-71, a 4-point lead with 20 and a half seconds to go. Fordham, it's a 2-possession game now unless there's a foul on a 3-point shot, and I doubt Iona will commit that foul. So effectively a 2-possession game here with 20.5 to go.
Oh my goodness. Well, you can hope the exact same thing happens on the inbound, but this time they call it a flagrant foul against the ball handler, Anthony.
Really, that's got to be the hardest contact I think I've seen a player take when the foul is called against them.
And really, he wasn't
Really odd.
smothering him either. It wasn't like he was really harassing him on ball. He was kind of a little bit of a length away, and the elbow caught him. It certainly wasn't an intentional elbow. That would have been a little ridiculous
again,
given the stage in the game.
We didn't have the best angle either, because that play happened on the opposite side of the floor near the Fordham bench. And kind of Pettis and Jacobs were kind of both guarding our ability to see CJ Anthony in there.
Same situation, though, for Fordham here. 20 seconds to go. You apply a full court press. Try and get a steal or a 10-second violation. If you do neither of those things, you have to foul as soon as possible. You almost don't even have time to wait for a 10-second violation.
Fordham going to need to make something happen and make it happen fast.
They put Rohr in the game to defend the inbound just because he's so long. Otherwise, they don't go that small. Henry, Pettis, Schulte, and a Jacobs on the floor.
It's going to be an inbound under the basket from Keyshawn Williams, face guarded by Rohr. He's looking for an option. He doesn't have it, and he's forced to call a timeout. It's a good job by Williams to take that timeout, keep his composure, not hold the basketball, and commit the turnover.
And they have another one, too. So that keeps happening. I mean, that's the second straight time Fordham applied a really good press. That time was so good they couldn't even get an inbound going really a bizarre action. They had the two guards screen each other, like a little pick play as you would see in football on a drag route.
Yeah, Joe, it was excellent coverage. It was excellent coverage.
They didn't have the front court move up as the safety blanket, though. So it was really, if those two guys were shielded, then there's nothing you could do. We'll see how they adjust here.
The horn sends us back to play here. 20.5 on the clock in the second half. Iona up 75-71 over the Fordham Rams. Inbound from Williams. He gets it to C.J. Anthony. He was forced to...
He got
Pettis is forced to foul him, but Pettis he got a huge chunk of C.J. Anthony there. Looked like they went hip to hip. And yeah, Pettis dropped Anthony.
Right in front of the Fordham bench. But he's apologizing about it.
It seems like just kind of lost control of his body. Not the first time that's happened in this game. The referees are going to take a look at this one now. We talked about a look at a flagrant foul that wasn't actually a look at a flagrant and was a look to see if Pettis fouled Anthony. Now, surely this will be a review to check for a flagrant. Now, for sure, against Ryan Pettis.
And the result is going to be a common foul on Anthony somehow, right, Tuck? Oh, my goodness.
The way this game has gone, yes. Things have been upside down and backwards in this game. You would expect no less when you're reviving an old rivalry. Surely some weird things happen, and they have tonight.
These two teams play next year in the Rose Hill Gym. Circle that one on your calendar.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one.
This has been a fun game, no matter what happens. If they do rule
it's been a great
flagrant
night here. Iona has done. They've played a great host tonight for this rivalry. A packed house. Plenty of Fordham fans in attendance, as well as the Iona faithful, because these two schools are so geographically close to each other. Iona just a short 20-minute car ride up the Bronx River Parkway.
They're calling a common foul on Ryan Pettis.
And they call a common foul against Ryan Pettis, so Fordham lucks out there that Iona's not going to go to the free throw line, because those would surely...
They will go to the free throw line. They won't retain possession on the flagrant. It's now double bonus.
You're right. Iona into the double bonus now. Fordham at 10 fouls. Pettis is also fouled out. It's funny that fans were calling for Ryan Pettis' ejection behind us, even though he did foul out. That was his 5th foul, so either way, he's out of the game.
They want him out of the building, Tucker.
C.J. Anthony is 6 for 8 at the free throw line tonight. He's got 20 points on 2 boards and 8 assists. Trying to make it 21 and 22 at the stripe. He makes the first. C.J. Anthony, for him, it just seems like it's just another day on the job for him, Joe. He's been so calm all night, really not showing a whole lot of emotion, just going to work as he misses the second of 2.
Got to move.
16 seconds on the clock. Fordham needs to move. Christian Henry, top of the key. He's going to have to pull that 3 over multiple defenders. It's airballed and out of bounds. It's going to be Iona's ball with 10 seconds and a 5-point lead.
On a day he started 3 for 3 from distance, he finishes 0 for 6. In the last couple air balls that have been killers for this Fordham team.
Louis Lesmond checks in for the Rams. Ruarcourt still guarding the inbound from Williams. Gets it to Akametu. Akametu takes the intentional foul, I believe, from Lesmond. With 7.7 to go in the game, and Akametu's going to shoot 2 with a 5-point lead for Iona.
They give it to a core. It doesn't really matter either way. Now with 7.7 seconds left, a chance to make it a 2-possession game. If they do, that's it. 7 seconds to score 7 points, not going to happen.
Akametu with the game in his hand now at the free throw line. And he misses the first off the front of the rim.
Got to leave the door open, Tuck. Now Fordham has no timeouts, so even if he misses this one again, clock starts bleeding. You got to somehow throw the ball all the way up the floor.
Heave.
Hit a 3.
Without hitting this low ceiling here in the Hynes Center.
Imagine that. Seen everything.
That'd be something, Joe. We've seen a lot in this game as Akametu misses both. Clock's going to run. 5 seconds now. Day Reeves pulls a 3. It's short again. Another air ball. Christian Henry has to fire up a 2 at the buzzer. It's no good. Toby Harris fires the ball into the sky. And Iona, in the revival of the Gaels-Rams rivalry, the first game between Iona and Fordham in 19 years, and the Iona Gaels take it in their gym, 76-71 the final.
Gonna be a spin doctor here, Tucker. It's a loss that stings. It's not great. There are a lot of things that are very frustrating about it. But on a day in which you go 6 for 32 from 3, 18.8%. On a day where you let the other team go to the line 10 more times than you. In a game where you only turn the other team over 7 times, you hang in there with an Iona team that was favored, an Iona team that played extremely well in its first 2 games, an Iona team that has a ton of talent, an Iona team that plays the second fastest brand of basketball you'll see all year at the Division I level. You still hung in there. A loss is a loss. It's a stinger. If they were able to win, it would have really been able to silence everyone who had been rightfully speaking up after Fordham's opening night loss to NJIT, but this loss is different, right? It's not the same thing. You're able to hang in there against a really solid team, maybe the best team that this team will play all of non-conference play. You would have loved to see them win, but given how imperfect this performance was from Fordham, who, by the way, was missing their second best player in Zariq Nutter, you can't be too upset, and I think we can be most happy that this was the renewal and the successful renewal of a fantastic rivalry.
Certainly an electric renewal, Joe. We had a lot of action from both sides. The Fordham Rams had 3 players score in double digits. 10 points for Schulte, 22 for Day Reeves, 16 for Christian Henry. And we have with us now assistant coach for the Fordham Rams, Troy Hamill, is here with us. And Troy, man, this was a really energetic game all the way through. Fordham was up by a few points in that first half. Then Iona battles back. They take the lead into the locker room. Coming out of the half, Iona really took the fight to you guys, but even more resilience to come back into this game. What's the biggest takeaway? I know it's not the result that you're looking for, but what's the biggest takeaway from the performance that you got out of the Rams tonight?
No, I thought it was an awesome environment. I think just a great game for both programs, you know, just to be get this series back started. But I think for us, obviously, always a tough one to take a close loss. But I do think we're starting to find our identity a little bit there as a team, especially on the defensive end. Offensively, we got good shots, you know, just kind of weren't falling today. But I do think you know, something to build off of for sure. The last couple games, I think we're seeing improvement. So again, always tough coming off a loss, but encouraging, you know, at the same time as well.
You talk about the defense. On one end, you don't force a lot of turnovers, but this is one of the fastest teams in the country, and late in the second half, you find a way to kind of slow them down at times, especially in some of these crucial possessions. They only had 68 possessions as a team, which is still a lot, but in their last game, they had 86. How do you feel the defense did in slowing them down?
Yeah, no, that was the emphasis for us, was transition defense and no threes, really trying to limit their penetration. They get a lot of drive and kick threes. So, you know, if you told us before the game, you know, 8 transition points and they're only making 8 threes, you know, we probably take that. But, you know, just a game of runs, and they had a little flurry there, 2 flurries in the second half. It really got us more inside in the paint, you know, getting some penetration. So kind of beat the scout on it, you know, a little bit there. But yeah, that's a high octane offense. And, you know, I thought we did a pretty good job executing the game plan, you know, at least there.
And Day led the team in scoring tonight. It was almost a foregone conclusion, this being the team that he played for last year, a bit of a revenge game for him. But I want to talk about Christian Henry a little bit, because not having Zariq Nutter tonight, that's a pretty big impact on the offense. Christian Henry gets his first start as a Fordham Ram tonight and had an excellent first half. He really came out of the gates hot. He hit his first 3 shots, all of them threes. What did you see out of Christian Henry tonight?
Yeah, he's really coming along. He missed most of the summer with an injury, and then had some nagging injuries throughout the fall as well. So I think he's really starting to find his groove, and it's great to see. He's getting his legs underneath him and starting to hit some shots. And that's how it goes. Once you hit shots, the confidence starts coming. So he's a great floor general for us out there, and he's really coming along. So he's kind of hitting stride at the right time, and you know, we're excited to have him, you know, hitting his groove here as we continue forward.
Yeah. And in addition to the three-point defense, which was a strength tonight after being something that was a difficulty in the first two games against D1 opponents, the rebounding tonight much improved from the Wagner game. The advantage was 48-31, 19-6 offensive rebounding. Felt like it was an improved area today.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I think that's both those things really just the mindset. We tried to come in through our last week or so of practice, just encouraging toughness, physicality, having the right mental approach. I think defense and rebounding are more mental than anything. So I think just honing in on that practice, the guys have really started to buy in there and really did the job. I mean, to out-rebound that team by 17, that's that's pretty great job by our guys. So again, just something I think hope we can build off of here.
Yeah, this rivalry's back for the first time in 19 years. What was your perspective on the energy in the building and just the energy around the rivalry between these two squads?
No, awesome environment. Just a really cool game for both teams to be playing. I think, again, just makes a lot of sense. I don't know why it's been so long, but we're excited to get this series rolling again and excited to get them back out at Fordham. And then obviously with the head coaches, the connection with Coach McPile, Coach Giroux, it's a cool series, great game, and obviously hopefully entertaining one this year for the fan. So yeah, excited to have this series going again.
Yeah, next year at Rose Hill, it's going to be a really fun one. I can tell after this game.
Yes,
Thanks so much, Coach Troy Hamill. Really appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Once again, 76-71, the final. Iona defeating the Fordham Rams. Iona improves to 3-0. The Fordham Rams drop to 2-2 here in non-conference play. The Fordham Rams will be in action again, though, this Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. at the Rose Hill Gym against Manhattanville. But for my colleague Joe Henry, I have been Tucker Austin. We send it now one more time back to the Rose Hill studio for the one-on-one post-game report. Here are Anthony Smith and Izzy Randazzo. Take it away.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Welcome back to the Rose Hill Studios. I'm Anthony Smith. Pleased to be joined alongside Izzy Randazzo for the one-on-one post-game report. The Fordham Rams dropped this Friday night battle against an old rival in the Iona Gaels. Rams fall to 2-2, suffering their first road loss of the season. Final score was 76-71. A battle of a lot of momentum shifts throughout this game, both for Fordham and for Iona. But for Fordham, obviously, it's going to be a tough loss. It felt like they outplayed Iona throughout a lot of this game. They led for a majority of the game, outnumbered them in rebounds, but at the end of that second half, they were outscored for 6 minutes, Izzy.
Yeah, obviously we saw the momentum coming in hot at the very beginning, and then Fordham kind of got away from that, and then they got it back, and then obviously at the end kind of fell a little bit short, losing by 5 points to the Gaels. So it really is just kind of them losing their hot streak in the middle of the game, which in order to stay successful, they need to maintain.
And you mentioned hot streaks. You see Day Reeves really pop off in that second half. He finishes with just over 20 points, 22 to be exact, getting over his season high on the season, but he eventually starts to slow down late in that second half. Big for this Fordham Rams offense. You see Louis Limon get into it a little bit, hits a three, able to give Fordham some momentum. They end up having a 7-0 run within 56 seconds, and they were really starting to get it done without using the three-pointer, which was a big part of the game here tonight, shooting 18% from three, and that's just a big part of this Fordham Rams game that they did not capitalize on here tonight, right, Izzy?
Exactly, I agree wholeheartedly. But we've kind of talked a little bit about how this Fordham team, if they're not making their threes, they are successful with getting points in other ways, like their field goals, for example. They are a pretty good, field goal percentage team. That's just kind of the stat for the whole team, really. But threes are a very crucial part of the game, as we've touched on. And in order to make their lead, or in order to extend their lead and kind of make the game that much more stronger, they gotta hit the threes.
And Coach McPile, he loves the three ball and the effects it plays into the game. But ultimately, if it's not working, you really got to find other ways to put the ball in the basket. This Fordham team did not score any points for 6 minutes late in that second half, led to Iona retaking the lead with under 4 minutes to play. The rest was history. We mentioned Christian Henry earlier in this game, really stepping up, taking a role. Started 3 for 3, ended up finishing 0 for 6 here tonight.
Yes, definitely. It's really just that momentum thing. It was great to see him come out with the air of confidence he had in that streak that he had. I think he played a great game overall. I think, disregarding kind of how they finished Fordham as a whole and kind of just his end as a player for this game, I think he looked great on the court for the most part.
And I think really just for this Fordham team, I mean, obviously it's the 3-pointers, but it's really just trying to get this offense going. We saw in that coach interview, they started to find their identity a little bit. I mean, I think I definitely saw it when they hit that hot streak going here tonight, but ultimately it's got to be a team effort. They got to be able to play the 40 minutes.
Definitely, and like the assistant coach said, it is kind of about finding identity. And this team, with all these new transfers, they're still kind of finding their footing together as not just a team, but players individually. So it's gonna take some time, I think. I mean, ideally they would be succeeding in games and winning games more early on in the season, but I feel like for this team, in order to be successful in the long run, it's going to take some time for them to gel and really build their chemistry together.
Well, Izzy, Fordham in a renewed rivalry dropped this one against Iona here tonight. They resume action on Sunday back in the Rose Hill Gymnasium at 4 o'clock. That's going to do it from the Rose Hill studio. Special thanks to our broadcasters, Tucker Austin and Joe Henry, our engineer, Maggie Danahy, on updates, Izzy Randazzo, who was also alongside me for halftime and post-game reports. Behind the board, producing for us, Griffin Stevenson, and our sports director, Bobby Giaffardini. I have been Anthony Smith. Again, final score tonight, the Iona Gaels 76, the Fordham Rams 71. Fordham's men's basketball is a production of WFUV Sports.